We are live at Coletco. Wow, it's just Monday. I've had a long day. I feel like it's the end of the week for me. I hope this caffeine kicks in, but we've had a long, eventful day. We are live, and I hope you join us for a spectacular night of record selling. Let's get started here. Facebook's being glitchy again. Oh no. Facebook doesn't want you. This is frustrating. But when you're, I see lots of comments already, so thanks everybody for doing that. Let me try to kill the Facebook app and restart. Essentially, right now, I can't go back to my page to share, which is not good. When Facebook changed this, I knew they would. Okay, I figured out a different way. Here we go. I'm admin of like 9 pages, and I really only need to be admin of 2, and it causes problems for me sometimes. But I've got it fixed. Let's share it in all of the groups. And there is, let me copy the link. I don't know if I shared the photos. Paul sent me photos. Paul, I didn't even get those photos. I didn't get a chance to share those photos. I actually might make a quick post, and that way we have at least a hype to go off of. I've been so busy today. All right, so we've got it shared there. Let's go ahead and take care of us on Instagram. Copied. All right. And let's get this shared on our story. All right. Okay. I'm still stalling. I've got it shared in enough places. I think we're good. Okay. Let's pause for Pablo. Yeah, I'll talk about this in just a second. We'll let everybody get on first. Let's go through some records. Welcome everybody. Happy Monday. Let's see. Let's go through and figure out what we're going to show first, okay? So I'm just now looking at comments, and if you have any questions about invoicing, shipping, compliments, or complaints, you can send those via a Facebook or email message to Coletco. Otherwise, officially right now, I am showing records, and that's my main focus. We're going to have auctions for you tonight. By the way, Seth, who manages our Japanese stuff, Seth, I sold every Japanese pressing that was priced. We have no Japanese records left, except for that one crate there that's not priced. It's all gone, okay? Everything is sold. So we do have other auctions, though, we've pulled out for tonight. Let me go ahead and start showing some new vinyl. This will be our warm-up bin. I've got 4 crates of new vinyl. I've got 7 crates of new vintage vinyl. And let's start showing records. I have a complaint, yeah. We rarely get complaints, so I'll figure that out. What happens is, Doug, I was here today most of the day during the store, and Doug said he was talking about how he was now manager of stickers. So The stickers have caused quite a problem. So I've got to mass order some stickers and then make some formal announcements about that. So, okay, we have the Black Crows. This is $39.99. The Black Crows lines. That's a 2LP pink vinyl, $39.99. Wendy, I think you was in the store when I was in the store, and I never did get to say hi, but thank you for coming in today. Foo Fighters. This is, but here we are. That's their newest album on white vinyl. So that is $31.99. So the Black Crows lines is $39.99. The Foo Fighters is $31.99. And Keb Mo is $46.99. Keb Mo is $46.99. That's a new sealed MoFi pressing. I still got, now that everybody's been invoiced and we know that we have them all pulled, I know exactly how many of these I have left. And that is Janis Joplin's Farewell Song. Janis Joplin's Farewell Song is a we have 4 left. That is a single LP, turquoise colored vinyl, $38.99. Sugar Hill Gang. The Sugar Hill Gang is $38.99. Limited edition of 1,000 on red vinyl, Sugar Hill Gang. And that is Rapper's Delight. We had several Incubus titles come in last week. The 2 we have left, or one of the ones we have left, is Incubus Like Grenades, $34.99. That's a 2LP. And Janis Joplin in Concert. Janis Joplin in Concert is $44.99. And that is a 2LP, 1972 live album, Janis Joplin Concert. Also limited numbered colored vinyl. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Don't Mess with Texas. This is a $39.99. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Don't Mess with Texas, $39.99. Also, Dwight Yoakam, Blame the Vein, $29.99. And Incubus Science. Everybody was getting on to me about saying Incubus. So, Science. I usually briefen stuff to one syllable. So, that's why I haven't been saying Incubus. That's $39.99 for Science. So, that crate had Incubus, Science, Dwight Yoakam, Blame the Vein, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Don't Mess with Texas, Janis Joplin in Concert, Incubus Like Grenades, Sugar Hill Gang self-titled, Janis Joplin Farewell Song, Keb Mo, Foo Fighters, But Here We Are, Foo Fighters, But Here We Are, and the Black Crows lines. Do you have packs of sleeves for 45s? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Tanner, can we check on Rich Group's shipments or invoices? Make a note to please share that with Doug. And Rich Group, I hope you heard that. I have passed along your message. I'm not for sure what's going on, but we will find out, okay? We're not behind on shipping. The last thing I said on shipping was Friday, and I said Doug had pulled everything to ship last Friday. If you hadn't got a tracking number, you'll get one on Monday, and I think they held their word on that. Everything, if you've paid an invoice, unless something went wrong and you've maybe not think you've paid one or thought you paid one, but you didn't, anything prior should have been all packed up and sent out by today. They've got it, tracking and all that. And then all the new invoices for this week went out today, unless we're mistaken. So sometimes things do get overlooked. We've got thousands of orders. Every once in a while, something gets overlooked, and if it gets put on the back shelf, it may not get looked at for a whole week. And that might just be bad timing on when exactly you paid your invoices. You might pay your invoicing and barely miss like a purge, and then it gets delayed a couple more days, but hope everybody understands. We do have thousands of orders, and we have 3 full-time people packing stuff. So I promise you, they're just not sitting in the back and we're twiddling our thumbs. They pretty much pack all day, every day, constantly. It's almost around the clock. So first crate out of here, we have Greg Rogers on Sugar Hill Gang. Greg Rogers gets the Sugar Hill Gang. That was the first sell out of this crate. Next was Darren Davis, wants one of the Janis Joplin's live. That is sold to Darren Davis. How do you buy and shipping? You buy just by telling me whatever you want. It's $7 unlimited shipping. That $7 is a one-time charge starting today, and it goes all week until we sign off on Saturday night. Okay, Gary Samuels. This is a pack of 50 Big Fudge white inner sleeves, pack of 50. That's a high-quality 20-pound paper, acid-free, $15.99. And a pack of 50 3-mil outers, $16.99. So $16.99 and $15.99. That's a pack of 50 and a pack of 50. That's 2 great brands, Vinyl Style and Big Fudge. And they're both, of course, and non-acidic. These are made for storing records. be careful what kind of plastics you store your records in. Some of them can be highly acidic, and they can severely damage your sleeves and your vinyl. But most of the stuff, if you're buying Big Fudge, vinyl style, sound sleeves, and especially MoFi, all that is good. Okay, I'm about to grab our first crate of new stuff. Incubus, Dwight Yoakam, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Janis Joplin, Sugar Hill Gang, Keb Mo, Foo Fighters, and Black Crowes. That was some of our best-selling titles from last week. We have 7 crates of new vintage arrivals. We've got 4 crates of new vinyl, 4 crates of new vinyl, and most of it is stuff we've never had before. It's not restocks. It's like I'm working with a couple new distributors now. So we're getting new vinyl from even more places. And there's a lot of stuff in here we've never had. And also, you'll see some very different prices. I've got some great prices on some stuff. Some of it I've went ahead and ordered several. Some of them I've ordered one. And if anybody else wants one, we're going to take a waiting list. Gary says he'll take a pack of Big Fudge. That means he wants a pack of inner sleeves. That's so to Gary Samuels. Thank you, Paul. Have a good one. Thank you. And Paul's brought us another crate. So now we have 8 crates of vintage. Holy moly. Okay, we have Maroon 5, Red Pill Blues. This is $34.99. Maroon 5, Red Pill Blues. That's a fairly recent album of theirs. It comes as a box set, $34.99, and you might as well pretty much consider that an on-sale price. On-sale price. Red Pill Blues, Maroon 5, $34.99. Do you have a Tenacious D Pick of Destiny? I have more of those on the way. The Vietnam War, a film by Ken Burns. This is the soundtrack by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the soundtrack score for this. It's a 3 LP, $34.99, and you might as well consider that an on-sale price. So that's the original score, Trent Reznor, The Vietnam War. Maroon 5 was also $34.99. Here's one of the more popular Black Flag titles that we sold out of a couple weeks ago. Finally got these back in. This is The First 4 Years, Black Flag, The First 4 Years, and that is $33.99. There was one person on a waiting list for that, which was Deborah Devaney. So Deborah, you've got one in that will be on this new invoice. I've got 3 extras. 3 extras. That is $33.99. Haven't had this in a while, and that is Phil Collins' The Singles, which is pretty much his greatest hits of his solo works. That is $44.99. Phil Collins is $44.99. That's a 2 LP. And when I say singles, singles are songs he released as singles, which are usually his hits, right? Such as Another Day in Paradise and One More Night and In the Air Tonight and Easy Lover. That is $44.99. Hello, Benton Bragg. I met Benton today. I was in the store today. So if you were lucky and stopped by the store today, you may have seen me. First time I'd been in this store during store hours in probably months. And that's because we had a special visitor from Maryland. John Young told me about a month ago he was going to be here at the store. And he's been buying from us for a couple years now. I think y'all have probably seen his name on the feed. So I knew I had to be here. Didn't want to miss him. He's in town speaking at a conference. So I was in the store pretty much all day today. Plus I was working on our 45 mystery boxes. So okay, we have, did we get Henry Choice's information? That's
his invoice.
Henry's Choice, your invoice has been sent to your email, so you should have it. Benton, or actually, who asked about this? Hendry, this Maroon 5 box set, I have no idea what's in it. I wish I could tell you. There has no hype sticker, so I really can't. I remember seeing the picture. It looked like colored vinyl and maybe a book, but I really can't say for sure. Jennifer Smeaton's taking one of the Black Flags. Jennifer, now that is your first purchase. You just asked earlier how to buy. Now, here's how you get an invoice from us. Thank you and welcome. Make sure you message our page. We need you to send us a Facebook message with your email address and your mailing address. So right now, please send us a Facebook message with your email address and your mailing address. We will invoice you on Monday, and that will probably be the next time you hear from us. Next was Autumn Betts wants the Vietnam War soundtrack. That's sold to Autumn Betts, and Wendy Pierce wants one of the Phil Collins singles. That's all sold. Kate Bush, Lionheart remaster. Kate Bush, Lionheart, $29.99. Like I said, a lot of new vinyl with titles either we've never had or we haven't had in a long time. A lot of stuff we've never had. Like Ted Nugent's Cat Scratch Fever. This is limited in number to 1,000 on white vinyl, $38.99 for Ted Nugent's Cat Scratch Fever. White vinyl, limited to 1,000. The Ice Age soundtrack, that is a picture disc, $26.99. $26.99. Mark Quarum on Ted Nugent, that is sold to Mark Quarum. And we have Danger Danger. Now, this is already sold, and plus an additional copy. I didn't realize, I'd kind of forgot about this title, but it's one of our best-selling music on vinyl titles of all time. I will have more on the way. I went ahead and ordered several. I had Jared Benoit and Ken Crooker on a waiting list, so I left this in the bin. It's already spoken for, but I will have more for this week's invoice. So you'll probably see them live on Thursday night, but if you want to go ahead and claim one, they're good as sold, and that's Danger Danger, $44.99. Very tough OG to find. Music on Vinyl originally did this, limited to 1,000 on colored vinyl, and those went like hotcakes. I mean, they were like gone instantly. We didn't even get nowhere near our full allocation. Had no idea Danger Danger was such in demand. So fortunately, they repressed it on black vinyl, and it's still in print. I just haven't had it. So $44.99. It's a great sounding reissue. I was curious myself. The cover had me interested. I was like, that's a wild, interesting looking cover. So I actually kept a copy myself of the black vinyl. So we'll just start a waiting list for this. $44.99. We have already got Jared and Ken down for one. Let's also put Carol Keys down for one, and Todd Tipton. I'm just going to leave that out because that one's already spoken for. So Carol Keys, Todd Tipton. The OG goes for around 100. That is 100% accurate. Can I get a Ted? Chris Crowley, yes, I can put you on a waiting list. Luckily, it's Monday night, so anything we sell out of, don't think that's the only copy we can get. I'm probably, a lot of this stuff I call testing the waters. I think y'all know what that means. It means I'm going to show one. I don't like stocking too heavily on new vinyl unless it's something I absolutely know I can sell, like Led Zeppelins and Metallicas and Pink Floyds, but some things I only order one copy of, and then we might have 20 people on a waiting list, and if I only have one, that means I can get them. I did not, it looks very similar to the one I had last night, but this is not one that I've had before. This is the 25th anniversary Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Concerts, Not One, Volume 1, which includes, this is $26.99. That includes Bruce Springsteen, Tom Morello, Crosby, Stills, and Nash with James Taylor, Simon and Garfunkel, Stevie Wonder, and Sting. That is $26.99. Invoices are going out today, so that's, yeah, check your email. Everybody's got an invoice. Tanner says they're all done, so everybody's got invoices from last week. Chris Crowley, we got you down on a waiting list for Ted Nugent, and Jerry Stone wants the Hall of Fame concerts. That's so to Jerry Stone. Jerry, I got your text message. I will reply to you tonight, and if I need to call you tomorrow, I will. But I will get back with you today. I've been here at the store with somebody since about 11 o'clock today, so been pretty busy. I haven't had this as just a 2 LP in quite a while. It's the Almost Famous soundtrack, which is an amazing soundtrack. This is $39.99, Almost Famous. That has artists such as America, Sparks, Rod Stewart, The Seeds, The Who. Great soundtrack. That is $39.99, Almost Famous. Never had this title before. Dream Theater, When Dream and Day Unite. Music on vinyl, $39.99. Dream Theater, When Dream and Day Unite. Now, I know there is one Dream Theater title that is long out of print. That's very pricey. We had one night we auctioned. I'd say if you're remotely interested in that, you might want to grab it. So $39.99 for Dream Theater. Here's the Black Flag that is titled Everything Went Black. That is $49.99 for Everything Went Black. I'm going to do a price. I know I had another copy. I was going to make sure that was the right price on that because we had one come in a different shipment. I'm pretty sure that's right, though, because it is a 2 LP. That Black Flag, Everything Went Black, is $49.99. $49.99 for that one. We have Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Alanis Morissette is $31.99 for Jagged Little Pill. These are new and sealed. And Greg Stone, you was on a waiting list for that, so I got you down, Greg Stone, for Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Rob said he almost fell out of his chair, but he already had one. And this is the best price I've ever had this, which is $34.99 for U2's Octung Baby. 30th Anniversary Edition, limited edition with poster. And that's a 2 LP remaster of U2 Octung Baby. $34.99 on that. Indiana Jones was great. I'd say probably, I've rewatched all of them this week, or last week leading up to noon. I was probably going to go see that one, and I like that one probably more than anyone I've seen. I like the era it was set in. They start out in World War II, and then when he wakes up, Magical Mystery Tour starts playing, and it's 1969, so I thought that was really cool. Eric Beck on U2. I knew I was going to like it when I heard the Beatles and David Bowie within the first like half hour. So Eric Beck on U2. That's so to Eric Beck. Primus, animals should not try to act like people. Never had this Primus before. It's his first official vinyl pressing since 2004. Primus is $28.99. Dr. No soundtrack, $24.99. The Dr. No soundtrack, the first James Bond film adventure. This is from the Capitol Vaults, audiophile quality. That is the James Bond Dr. No soundtrack, $24.99. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Buhanina? I think I'm close. Art Blakey is $29.99. Rob Scheffler on Primus. I've only got one copy of this, but if anybody is interested in anything else that you see that I sell out of, let me know, and we can get you on a waiting list. Madman Across the Water, Elton John, $33.99. That's the 50th anniversary remaster. Pretty much they had this album in print, and then they did the anniversary remaster, and it's pretty much the same packaging, except I think for the mastering of the LP. $33.99. And King Diamond, Abigail. King Diamond's on Cobalt Blue Vinyl. King Diamond, Abigail on Cobalt Blue Vinyl. That is $33.99. And Riot, Restless Breed. Riot is $28.99. I don't think I've ever had a new copy of that. From Metal Blade, of course. Riot, $28.99. Corrosion of Conformity, Animosity. That's on Orange Brown Marbled Vinyl. Orange Brown Marbled Vinyl, $33.99. Let's give Brandon Jackson the Riot, and we'll put Chris Crowley on the waiting list. Martin Pryor wants COC. If anybody else wants on the Riot or on a COC waiting list, let me know. And I haven't had this Pink Floyd album as a standard release in quite some time, and that's Momentary Lapse of Reason. Pink Floyd, Momentary Lapse of Reason, $39.99. Gatefold single LP remaster, and it sounds incredible, $39.99. Let's put Todd Tipton on the COC waiting list. We'll have more of those this week. And Black Flag, My War. In some of the next upcoming bins, we've got other Black Flag albums that we've never had before. Some of these that was in here were restocks of the ones we sold out of prior. $33.99. Also put Joshua on the COC waiting list. If anybody else wants on that COC Animosity waiting list, please let me know. Okay, so if you're just hopping on, this was our first crate of new stuff. Let me run through it one more time, and then we'll start with our first crate of vintage. Maroon 5, Red Pill Blues box set, $34.99. Black Flag, The First 4 Years, $33.99. Kate Bush, Lionheart, $29.99. Ice Age soundtrack as a picture disc, $26.99. Almost Famous is $39.99, 2LP. Dream Theater, When Dream and Day Unite, $39.99, music on vinyl. Black Flag, Everything Went Black, $49.99. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, $31.99. U2 Octung Baby, $34.99. Dr. No soundtrack, $24.99. Art Blakey, $29.99. Madman Across the Water, $33.99. King Diamond, Abigail, $33.99. John Burlingame on U2, and like I said, I was able to secure some of these at a great price. That's about $15 cheaper than what we normally sell these for. So John Burlingame gets this one. I've got like 2 more in our bins, so if anybody wants them for that price, let me know. But like I said, I think they're normally like $50. Pink Floyd, Momentary Lapse of Reason, $39.99, and Black Flag, My War, $33.99. The Soundgarden Artist In. Those will be in on this week's invoice. Yes, I'm about to show that and pretty much add to my waiting list. And then I have a, I'm going to be, let's see, yeah, those will be arriving this week. Those should be arriving. Well, they will be arriving this week. I just got to place the rest of the order. We sold a lot more than I realized. So, Greg says he'll take a U2, and so is Darren Davis. We might not need to take a waiting list. Let me go check the U2 bin. We'll make sure these go in at $34.99. If not, then we'll technically have a waiting list, but I know I can get more. and we will get more. Yeah, here's one over here, $49.99 originally. Sometimes I'm able to get stuff at cheaper prices through my wholesalers, and that means if I get it cheaper, that means y'all are going to get it cheaper. So this is best deal I've had on this in quite some time. We'll give this one to Darren Davis, Tanner, for $34.99. We'll put Greg Preston and Fred Carnell on the waiting list. And we'll go through, I do have auctions, I think. Maybe I was supposed to pull something out of this crate. Nope, not this crate. I don't think. We'll find out. But yeah, we've got 3 more crates of new vinyl. This is our first crate of vintage, and we've got 8 crates to go through. I better start talking fast. So we have John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. This is, I think, check condition stuff. So John Denver is VG plus $19.99. John Denver is VG plus $19.99. ZZ Top Deguelo is VG plus $24.99. So John Denver and ZZ Top, 10 years after, A Space and Time. That's EX condition, $16.99. I'd love to change the world. Rachel Christopher on John Denver and the Muppets. That's so to Rachel Christopher. We have Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story. That's a VG plus $14.99. Kelly Bagwell first on ZZ Top, Deguelo. So John Denver and ZZ Top, great Rod Stewart of album there. Also great 10 years after album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Peter Frampton, the Bee Gees, and others. This is a VG plus $14.99. Also with Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Fred Carnell on 10 years after. That's so to Fred Carnell. Carole King Tapestry, EX condition, $16.99. Carole King Tapestry, EX condition, $16.99. Pam Dickens on the Sgt. Peppers. And Matthew Christ, you were second on the Muppets. Still got Rod Stewart and the Carole King I just showed there. Freddie King, 1934-1976. EX condition, $17.99. Freddie King, that's on a red Polydor label. Freddie King, 1934-1976, that's $17.99. Craig Johnson, first on Rod Stewart. And we have Stevie Lee on Freddie King. So Craig got Rod Stewart, and Stevie Lee got Freddie King. Yeah, RS and FK. Carole King Tapestry is, I've already showed that one. I need to show it again so somebody will buy it. EX, $16.99. I was like, that's the only one left in there so far. We have Dickie Betts and Great Southern. VG copy for $9.99. Dickie Betts and Great Southern. That's VG on the vinyl, $9.99. You don't mess around with Jim Croce. VG plus $9.99. We were talking about Jim Croce just a moment ago. Friday Night in San Francisco. This is Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, and Paco de Lucia, one of the two. EX condition. This is EX condition, $19.99. How much was the ZZ Top? Kelly, I'm pretty positive it was $24.99. Steely Dan is VG condition, $19.99 for Steely Dan Asia. That's VG, $19.99, and that has a fillable mark on side B, just FYI. That's why it's VG. Stevie Lee wants FN. FN was, it was not Carole King, it wasn't Dickie Betts, it wasn't Jim Croce. It probably was for Friday Night. Sell Friday Night to Stevie Lee. The Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade. VG plus $21.99 for the Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade. Queen's Greatest Hits. VG minus condition, $17.99. I'm going to repeat that. I repeat VG minus or less multiple times. VG minus $17.99 on the Queen's Greatest Hits. Mark Querum on the Rolling Stones. That's sold to Mark Querum. And The Right Touch, Duke Pearson. Duke Pearson's on Blue Note. 1967, first stereo. VG plus $34.99. Does have some cover damage to it, but that is VG plus $34.99 on Duke Pearson on Blue Note. This is, I've seen this before, I think. EX, $29.99. Curtis Counts. You get more bounce with Curtis Counts. EX condition on that, $29.99. Everybody's Talking. Theme from Midnight Cowboy, Fred Neil. VG plus $17.99. This is a 1969 Los Angeles press. Paul has denoted on the back. Excellent. VG plus $17.99. Everybody's Talking. Fred Neil. Theme from Midnight Cowboy. We have Better Days EX Condition, $16.99. Top Seam Split EX, $16.99 for Better Days. Paul Butterfield. Jerry Lee Lewis Original Golden Hits Volume 1 EX Condition, $9.99. Jerry Lee Lewis Original Golden Hits. And First Light Freddie Hubbard EX, $21.99. First Light Freddie Hubbard. That's EX Condition, $21.99. Don Bird and Gigi Grass Jazz Lab VG Plus, $39.99. This is a 1957 mono. I bet that's on a 6i. 1957 mono. It is. Alan Hevalone first on Freddie Hubbard. That's sold to Alan Hevalone. And another Freddie Hubbard. This is VG minus, $9.99. This is the 2LP Blue Note reissue series, sort of like a compilation. Greg Stone, we have you down for an Alanis Morissette. That has been pulled already for you. Greg Stone, we have you down for an Alanis Morissette. I'm going to go flip on the air conditioner right quick. When the sun's still out up here by this front door, it's a little bit warm, but in about an hour or so, it will be a lot more cooler inside and outside. All righty. I think Alan Hevalone wants... do you want the other Freddie Hubbard as well, Alan? If so, let me know. That's yours if you want it. Okay, he wants the one that's $22. Okay. Ron Carter, Blues Farm. Ron Carter, Blues Farm. This is VG Plus, $17.99. Ron Carter, Blues Farm, VG Plus, $17.99. Nat Adderley, live at Memory Lane. Nat Adderley is VG Plus, $14.99. That's a 1967 mono. The Cannonball Adderley Quintet, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. That's a good one. VG Plus, $19.99. 67 Scranton. Dave Plunkett wants CA, which is, he might have meant, or he might have made, I'm not for sure. Let's see here. Jeff McMaster wants Fred Neal. That's right here. Let's sell that to Jeff McMaster. And then Dave, let me know for sure what CA meant, and then I'll pull that for you. Steely Dan, Gaucho, VG Plus condition, $24.99. Oh, Cannon, you were just very fast on it. I hadn't even got to really set it down. That's so to Dave Plunkett, Cannonball Adderley. Jeff came in very full. Yeah, that was fast. Yeah. Jeff said, hi, I'll take Fred Neal. Miles Davis live. This is EX condition, $19.99 on teal vinyl. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was a Record Store Day release, wasn't it? Miles Davis live, $19.99. I think this was a Record Store Day release. Beautiful vinyl. That's Miles Davis live, just $19.99 on that one. That is sold to Colin Butler. And he also wants Ron Carter. Ron Carter's another great album. Those are both sold and sold. We have Forest Flower, Charles Lloyd at Monterey. VG copy, $19.99. 1967 stereo. Forest Flower, the Charles Lloyd Quartet. VG copy, $19.99. Hoyt Axton, Joy to the World is VG Plus, $29.99. Might have missed. Oh, he does want both Freddie Hubbards. Okay. So Colin Butler got Miles Davis there. He also got Ron Carter, and he also wants Charles Lloyd. So we'll give those first three to Colin, and then we'll give this Freddie Hubbard to Alan Hevalone. Yes, I believe this is some from longtime customer Andy Mitchell's jazz collection. Part of it. I think he thinned out a few things, and we bought it. And that's what these are. I think that's what these are. That would be a question for Paul. But yes, I think that's what these, or Andy if he's watching. I think he'd recognize his own records. As usual. I don't know what we're selling until we're selling it. Okay. Lou Donaldson, Midnight Creeper, is VG minus, $21.99. 1968 U.S. Press, plays with background noise, no skips. VG minus, $21.99. So no skips, has some background noise. Pete W. Gaucho was a VG plus, $24.99. VG plus, $24.99 on Gaucho. Nice cover. Colin Butler on Lou Donaldson, and Richard Baker on HA, which I think is for Hoyt Axton. So those are sold and sold. Steely Dan is available if you want it, Pete. The Sorcerer, Gabor Szabo. That is a VG copy, $17.99. It's a 1972 U.S. press, which is technically a reissue. Paul has his own personal note on it. He says it's fantastic, The Sorcerer. PW says he'll take Gaucho, and Colin says he'll take Gabor Szabo. Those are all sold. We have David Lindley. Is EX condition, $12.99 on David Lindley. And the Flying Burrito Brothers, live from Tokyo, VG Plus $12.99. I don't have any auctions ready right now. I have 0 auctions ready. I don't have, we don't really have any new Japanese stuff right now, and I hadn't pulled anything from crates yet. There was one copy of the Doors. Actually, I just sold some records to Paul. Let me have that Doors. He said he was going to go ahead and pass on this, and we could sell it tonight. So it's an incredible record. Let's put up a very nice copy of the Doors. We have putbacks too, but I don't think there's anything in there to auction, is there, Tanner? We've got a lot to show tonight. I don't know if we'll make it to putbacks. We've got 8 crates of new vintage stuff. We have 4 crates of new vinyl, and we've only been through 1 crate of new, and this is our first crate of vintage. So we have auctions. I just hadn't pulled them yet. So what I do is I'll go through a crate and pull some stuff out and auction it. So I didn't see anything in this one, but we'll start with this. Very nice copy of the Doors, and this has just some light scuffs on it. Right here, this is side 2, has these light scuffs right here. They're non-feelers, and here, and like I said, we were just selling. I was just about to sell some records to Paul, and he was like, I'm going to pass on this one for now. I'll probably regret it later. As you see, this is 67. It has the original Electra inner sleeve. Very clean vinyl for what this is. It is also in partial shrink wrap. The debut, iconic, self-titled first album from The Doors. Break On Through to the Other Side. Light My Fire. This is going to be a $35 start. So we're going to call it EX. EX on the vinyl. Nice cover and shrink wrap. Has just a couple spots of wear there. It's in 80% shrink wrap. $35 start on the Doors, self-titled. 67 stereo. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. First was Tanner Teagarden. Steely Dan Asia was right here, Tanner Teagarden, and that was a VG copy, $19.99. He said it has some fillable marks on side B. Fillable marks on side B, just FYI, which is right there. They are, yeah, it's like one scratch right here, so it'll probably click when it hits that. The matrix is AA. I think that's what you're looking for this one, as far as great sound phonics. Actually, this says AB with a scratch through it, and I think that's good too, just FYI. I think AA and then AB with a scratch through it are the desired pressings, but I may be getting that backwards. I need to go back and watch that video. Preston Rose on Flying Burrito Brothers, so that's sold to Preston Rose. Benton Bragg was next on FB, which was probably Flying Burritos. Is that right, Benton? If so, you were second. And we have Jared McLaughlin wants David Lindley. The Doors is 35, 35, and 40. And Jared said, what did Jared say? He said, or Paul passes. Did I miss something before that? I'm not for sure. Okay, we have AC/DC Back in Black. This is the 2003 remaster. VG Plus condition, $22.99 on Back in Black. Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy. VG Plus condition, $34.99. VG Plus condition, $34.99 on Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy. Stan Getz, Sweet Rain. Stan Getz. This is EX, $31.99. It's a 67 mono. 67 mono on Stan Getz. Black Verve label. Carol Key says, I'll take AC/DC. Carol, you just bought something earlier too, didn't you? So I think you're familiar with first-time buyer instructions. By the way, Jeremiah Lewis is at 40 on the Doors. And we have the Resurgence of Dexter Gordon. Resurgence of Dexter Gordon. That's a VG Plus, $39.99. That's an early reissue. Early reissue on this Burgundy Jazzland label. Steely Dan was a VG minus $19.99, or actually VG $19.99. VG $19.99 Midnight Oil, I'm not for sure. I have not seen Midnight Oil, that pre-order. I haven't seen it since I placed that order. I will check on that for everybody, though. Because I know there's a lot of pre-orders. Let's see. Okay, we have 3 people who have technically inquired or claimed the Steely Dan just immediately. First was Tanner Teagarden. He asked about it. If Tanner passes, it goes to Brad's brain. And then third, just right then, was James Lee Farrell. So Tanner asked about it, Brad asked about it, and then James just claimed it. So Tanner, let me know if you do or do not want that. If you pass, then it is sold to Brad's brain. And then for some reason, if that was to fall through, James Lee Farrell, you are third. Tanner passes, so sell that to Brad's brain. Rat was VG Plus $34.99. And was there another question? I could have swore somebody just asked how much these two were. I guess I'm not. I need to repeat the prices more clearly. The resurgence of Dexter Gordon was VG Plus $39.99. Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy, was VG Plus $34.99. Okay, the Hawk Swings, Coleman Hawkins. This is EX, $12.99. That is a 61 mono, EX $12.99. Larry John Wilson, Sojourner. Larry John Wilson, VG Plus $14.99. Bill Evans, The Paris Concert Edition 2. This is EX $19.99. Bill Evans, The Paris Concert. Billy Joel, 52nd Street, VG minus $11.99. I Love Supreme, John Coltrane, The Complete Masters. VG Plus $29.99. Pressing defect on side 6 produces a few clicks. So just on side 6. So this is a triple LP. Wow, triple LP, John Coltrane, VG Plus $29.99. So it does have some marks on side or sound pressing defect on side 6. Side 6. Willie Nelson, Shotgun Willie, VG minus $9.99. VG minus $9.99. Okay, so Doors was at 42. Doors is at 44. Doors is the label you want it, which is the gold or tan. It's actually more gold, or I guess that is tan. Gold or tan Electra. That is 1967. EX condition. 44 with Jeremiah. Richard Baker on SG. SG was Stan Getz. That's sold to Richard Baker. Christopher David on Bill Evans. That's sold to Christopher David. Andy's back in on the Doors at 45. Christopher Brusha on Willie Nelson. And the Doors is at 50. The Doors is at 46. And the Doors is at 52. Okay. Doors is at 52 with Jeremiah Lewis. I think we're good to go. Okay, the Chapel Hill Pickers. Us Two and Him. The Chapel Hill Pickers. EX, that is $14.99. The Chapel Hill Pickers. The Country Girls, 1927 to 1935. That is EX, $21.99. Both themes are split. That is 16 rare blues and ballads with guitar. The Country Girls. That's EX, $21.99. Rat is VG Plus $34.99. Let me just lay this right here because there's going to be somebody. I can't believe it hadn't already sold, to be honest with you. Somebody else asked about it, and I have a feeling whoever asked about it, who asked about that? Who asked about that? Michelle. Michelle, if you want this, I would say let me know because Michael Thrower wants it. So Michelle did ask about it. I never did see a yes or no, but that is sold to Michael Thrower if Michelle passes. Brent Robley's at 55 on the Doors. Lisa Montgomery wants Country Girls. The Doors is now at 60. Greg Willie Nelson has already been claimed. We have Booker Irvin, The In Between. Booker Irvin is EX $39.99. That's a 1970, technically a reissue. Billy Joel was $11.99 VG minus. $11.99 VG minus. Jamie Johnson, The Guitar Song. This is VG plus $34.99. $34.99 black and white vinyl, VG plus $34.99. Drum Suite, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers is VG plus $39.99. This is a 1957 6i mono. 1957 6i mono. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers Drum Suite. Next is The Doors is at 65 with Brent Robley. Sarah Long wants Jamie Johnson. The Doors is now at 68. And Art Blakey wants, or Brent Robley on AB, which is Art Blakey. Okay, then we've had about 2 or 3 other questions on prices. First, we have pricing edition on Coltrane. Before that, or right now, let's tag Carole Kings with Billy Joel. Coltrane. This is a triple LP. That's why it's called The Complete Masters. And side 6 has a few clicks. It's a pressing defect, and that's why we're grading it a VG Plus at $29.99. That was a great first crate of vintage. Let me go through that again. I've got 7 more just like this, and we've got 4 more crates of new stuff as well. Michelle passes on the wrap, and Ian wants Coltrane. That is first right now, dibs to Fred Carnell, and then if he passes Ian, that's so do you. That's a quintessential jazz album there, Love Supreme. Here's what's left in here. I said I wasn't going to do any recaps, but there's not much left in here, so let me go through it. That way we can go through a lot more. Fred Carnell said he will take the Coltrane. Carole King Tapestry, EX condition, $16.99. EX condition, $16.99. Dickie Betts in Great Southern is a VG copy, $9.99. You don't mess around with Jim. Jim Croce is still available. VG Plus, $9.99. Chris Ferrara said he will take the Dexter Gordon. That is now sold to Chris Ferrara. Carol, we've already got you pulled for Billy Joe. Brent Robley's at 75 on the Doors. We have Queen's Greatest Hits. VG minus $17.99. James Lee Farrell does get the Jim Croce. That's sold to James Lee Farrell. The Right Touch, Duke Pearson. That's a VG Plus, $34.99. VG Plus, $34.99. And that is on the famous and iconic Blue Note Jazz label. VG Plus, $34.99. This is Curtis Counts. You get more bounce with Counts. EX, $29.99. Sarah Long wants Queen's Greatest Hits. The Doors is at $75 with Brent Robley, going once, going twice. Ian, it looks like you are second on Coltrane. I do have a single LP gatefold new sealed copy, Ian, if you want this for $36.99. It's new sealed, single LP, A Love Supreme. If you're interested in that, Ian, let me know. That is available. We have Better Days. Better Days is EX, $16.99. The Doors is in stereo. The Doors is in stereo. Jerry Lee Lewis, Original Golden Hits, Volume 1, EX, $9.99. Don Bird and Gigi Grice, that is VG Plus, $39.99. This is a 57 mono. Jeremiah's at 77 on the Doors. Nat Adderley, live at Memory Lane, VG Plus, $14.99. The Hawk Swings, Coleman Hawkins, 1961 mono, EX, $21.99. Larry John Wilson, Sojourner, that's VG Plus, $14.99. Chapel Hill Pickers, Us Two and Him, EX $14.99, and Booker Irvin, The In Between, EX $39.99. Brent's out on the Doors. Jeremiah's at 77. That's going once, going twice now. This is a 67 Doors in partial shrink wrap. Inner sleeve, the vinyl's about EX or EX Plus. Very nice copy. We do have a mono in stock. It's right here behind me. I showed it the other night. It's VG minus condition. Or VG, it plays VG or VG Plus. It looks like a VG minus. Do I have a Testament Souls of Black? I may have one, and if I don't, Todd, I probably need to order more if you want on a waiting list. I think I am sold out for this week or from last week. But so, yeah, I probably need to get some more. All right, let's grab a new crate. Final call on the Doors now at $77. That was our first crate of vintage. Those are all still available. In about 3 or 4 hours, we'll probably go back through those again. But until right now, if you decide you want anything, now's the time. Right, Seth? Seth said correct. Excellent. Yeah, those weren't price worthy. The Velvet Underground wasn't. Let me see that. We'll put that up for auction. Velvet Underground. This is the Velvet Underground. Let's put this up for auction. The Velvet Underground, and this is their self-titled album. I think this is a 70s reissue, just based on my memory the last time I really looked at it. It is nice, though. It has the original inner sleeve, very clean vinyl. The vinyl is near mint minus. This is the Velvet Underground self-titled. There's the inner sleeve, or a inner sleeve. I wouldn't call that an original inner sleeve. Yeah, 1985. 1985 polygram down there at the bottom. So Velvet Underground, it is a saw mark. Nice copy though, Velvet Underground self-titled. That's a $35 start. $35 start on that. Let's go ahead and sell the doors to Jeremiah for $77. That's our first auction of the night. That's sold for $77. The Velvet Underground's a $35 start. And put Todd Tipton down for Testament Souls of Black waiting list. Testament Souls of Black waiting list. We also have an unofficial Sex Pistols. This is called Sex Pistols Gun Control. I think this is a live show from 1978. Don't get many records. Don't get many Sex Pistols bootlegs. Don't get many Sex Pistols in general. This is a bootleg unofficial, a vintage bootleg unofficial. As you can tell, very crude cover. Looks just like a Xeroxed sheet taped to a plain jacket. That's a $35 start, and that is a live show. Winterland 78. So those are $35 starts. Next was Black Label Society. I have not ordered more, but I probably need to since we literally sold every Black Label Society we had. There's actually a couple records in here on Blue Note, Craig. Let me pull the 2 Blue Notes that were left. One is Booker Irvin, The In Between. That's on the Liberty, when Liberty bought out Blue Note, so that's on the Liberty Blue Note label. But that's evidently a really good album, and it's in nice condition. EX, $39.99. That's technically a 1970. And then the Blue Note is a 67 first stereo VG Plus, $34.99. The Right Touch Duke Pearson. Seth is a real person. He is actually right here next to me. They was wanting to know if that's my split personality. There's been multiple customers in the store today that have seen Seth that might be watching. Why hasn't the air conditioning kicked on? That's what I want to know. Or did y'all cut it off? Okay. I'm hot. I'm very hot. All right. Craig Johnson says he'll take the Duke Pearson. Great decision. Great decision. Okay. So, we sold a bunch of these last week. We had a big waiting list, and I've got 3 more. These are $64.99. Let me go ahead and read the waiting list. This is Rush 2112, $64.99. David Eberly, Paul Brothers, Daniel Cody, Grant Peltzer, Brent Robley, Pete Weisgarber, Chris Kirkley, Brian Tyler, and John Smetzer. This is really cool for a lot of reasons. Reason number 1, it's Rush. Reason number 2, it's the album 2112. But, more importantly, it's on 200 gram, and it's a 3 LP. So this is one of those desirable 200 gram pressings of Rush. The 200 gram by itself is not in print, and like we've seen before, that's probably not a bad price for a single LP Rush 2112 on 200 gram, much less this is a deluxe packaging. It's a 40th anniversary with 3 LPs. It also includes a booklet, I'm pretty sure, a turntable mat. A turntable mat comes with this. So turntable mat. It also has some extra stuff like a hologram and maybe something else. Etching. Is there a book with it? I thought it had a book with it. Maybe not. But that's $64.99 for Rush 2112, and that is the 40th anniversary edition. I've got 3 of those available. Paul McCartney, Thrillington. This is one we don't get too often. Paul McCartney, Thrillington. This is out of print pretty much, or out of stock with anywhere else. I was lucky to see this with a different distributor. It's remastered at Abbey Road. We have never had that before on new 180 gram vinyl. That's Paul McCartney. If anybody else wants one, let me know, because Jerry Stone is getting this one. That's so did Jerry Stone. Give James Bragg also a Rush 2112. I highly suggest you buy this for all the reasons that I said. Rush 2112 is $64.99. If anybody wants a McCartney, let me know. Craig Johnson also wants a Rush. And we have Fugazi Repeater. And this is supposed to be on blue vinyl. I think I can see it. I think this is blue vinyl. Fugazi Repeater, $26.99. I have 3 of those. We have 2 of them because now one sold to Colin Butler. Here's one of the black flags that we have not had before. And this one's called Loose Nut. Black Flag, $33.99. Let's see if anybody else is trying to complete their Black Flag collection. We've got 5 of those tonight. 5 of those. Colin got a Fugazi. Lily McCurry gets the last Rush. Let's go ahead and make a note to start ordering more. So if anybody else wants on a waiting list, let me know. Black Flag is $33.99. We have, this is really cool, and it's still on the, well, it's supposed to be. It don't say it on the hype sticker. This is supposed to be on red vinyl when I ordered it. But once again, it's another Beatles solo album I've never had on 180-gram vinyl, and that's George Harrison Electronic Sound remastered. I've never had that as 180-gram, and that's supposed to be on red vinyl. I don't want to open it because it's my only copy, but that is $24.99. Jason Kenton gets a Black Flag. We've got 4 of those left. That's George Harrison. And John Lennon. John Lennon is $24.99. Once again, another 180-gram reissue. It even has the die-cut cover, just like the OGs, that flips open, makes the flaps. Walls and Bridges is $24.99. Fugazi was $26.99, repeater. Okay, another Rush 200-gram, and it's been a while since we've had these. I couldn't believe I was able to get some. A show of hands, 200-gram Rush is $39.99. Rush, A Show of Hands. This is actually some really good live recordings. $39.99. It is what you want to see. 200G. That's 200 gram. $39.99 on Rush, A Show of Hands. Chuck Wilson wants Black Flag, Loose Nut. That is sold to Chuck Wilson. Jerry Stone wants a Rush, and so does Michael Thrower. I have 3 of those left on hand. I have 3 left on hand. Next is Taylor Swift, Reputation. That's a 2 LP picture disc. Taylor Swift is $49.99. That's a 2 LP picture disc. We also have David Gilmour, a fantastic live concert, live at Pompeii. $119.99. $119.99. That's a 4 LP, 2 gatefold jackets, and a 24-page book. So David Gilmour recorded this concert at Pompeii, Italy, in that ancient stadium. And the reason he did that is because around 1970 or 1971, Pink Floyd they didn't really play a concert there. They recorded some live material inside of Pompeii, and then he went back and did this later. Very cool. $119.99 on that. I own that myself. It's very good. Pete Weisgarber also wants a Rush Show of Hands. That is sold to Pete Weisgarber. And Brian C. also wants a Rush. 1 copy of Rush Show of Hands available. That's 200 gram. Then we had Taylor Swift, we had David Gilmour, and we have Taylor Swift self-titled. Taylor Swift self-titled. That one's called Taylor Swift. That's 31. That's actually her first album, more in the genre of country. That has her, I guess, her first major hit, Tim McGraw, on it. That's $31.99. Rush, I had Jerry Stone, Michael Thrower, Paul Brothers, Pete Weisgarber. I must have missed either Pete or Paul. Pete or Paul, I missed you, but we've got you down. So the 5th and final copy goes to Brian C. And Clay Moore asked the price before that. He actually may get this. Clay, this is $39.99. It's a 2 LP, 200 gram. 2 LP, 200 gram, $39.99. Clay, this last copy is yours. Now, I know for sure I can get more. So Brian C., Greg Preston, and Mark Querum, if you happen to miss out, I can get more. I may actually already have at least 2 more on the way, but it looks like I need to order a lot more. So $39.99. Clay, that's yours if you want it. Then Brian C., then Greg Preston, then Mark Querum. George Harrison's still available. It was never claimed. Paul McCartney was claimed, but we still got George Harrison, $24.99 on that. Clay Moore said sold. So let's put Greg, Mark, and Brian C. all on a waiting list for that. How about Mary? I'm not for sure what that means. The auctions have no bids. I'm going to do a final call if you want to bid on these. $35 start for the 1985 press. It's near mint. It's an 85 pressing of the Velvet Underground self-titled and the Sex Pistols live unofficial. This is a $35 start. It's a Winterland concert from '78. Final call to make a bid before I make them buy it now. So Clay got Rush. Jennifer Smeaton wants the Taylor Swift self-titled. And Colin Butler wants George Harrison, or the Taylor Swift, the Taylor's editions. These are not. No, she has not released these yet as Taylor's versions. I guarantee they're in the works. But these have not been released yet. There is no Reputation or self-titled as Taylor's version. So right now, this is the only way to get those songs or those material. It's just the original recordings. Those are the OGs. She has not re-recorded those 2 albums yet. Sepultura, Chaos AD, Sepultura is $36.99. Newly remastered on 180-gram vinyl, Sepultura is $36.99. We also did get more copies of Dwight Yoakam, Swimming Pools, and Movie Stars. That's $29.99, Dwight Yoakam. Okay, I'm going to end these auctions. So whoever's first, $35 buy it nows. The Velvet Underground, $35, Sean Fairweather, sold. And Sex Pistols, $30, and Mike Massey. I had a feeling those people were on standby. Those are sold and sold, $35 and $35. I'm going to put away Booker Irvin. If anybody wanted that, that was from the last bin. That's EX, $39.99. That's also on Blue Note Liberty label. I'm going to put that in that previous, just trying to clear up my table here a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little, I'm going to put Love Supreme right back here. If anybody wants John Coltrane, $36.99, that's new and sealed. And I'm going to go ahead and show this again. If anybody wants on the Danger Danger waiting list, $44.99. Danger Danger, music on vinyl. Pink Floyd, The Division Bell, $49.99, 2LP remastered. I think I showed that the other night and said you better get these because they're really good sounding, and OGs are so tough to find. And speaking of Pink Floyd, Syd Barrett, The Madcap Laughs. Syd Barrett, The Madcap Laughs, $36.99. Todd Tipton on Pink Floyd. Taylor Swift has 3 more recordings being pressed, Taylor's version. I would ask my daughter. Yeah, so I know Fearless has been, Speak Now, Red, and she has about 6 or 7 other albums that some point or another she, I guess, was no longer on Big Machine. So like her new album, that's not, there is not going to be like a, I think Lover is the same way too. There will be no Taylor versions of those because that was a different label. So Robbie Reasonover on Dwight Yoakam. So Robbie Reasonover got Dwight Yoakam. So, and if anybody else wants one, let me know. Robbie Reasonover, I hadn't said your name in a while. You got a Dwight Yoakam, thank you. So this crate had Syd Barrett, Dwight Yoakam, Sepultura, Taylor Swift, David Gilmour, more Taylor Swift, John Lennon's still available, so is Black Flag, Loose Nut, and Fugazi, Repeater, and Fred Carnell claimed Coltrane. He claimed the one from the previous vintage bin. He got the check condition one from the previous vintage bin. Okay, let me grab the next crate of new vintage stuff. Speaking of vintage, let me figure out which one I want to go through next. They have got a lot of stuff priced. I know they were showing me a lot of it in the back, and I can't remember if I can find a couple of those crates. Yeah, here's one of them. Let's see here. If there's nothing to auction, we may go a few more minutes without auctions, but what I've learned is we can go through a lot of bins if we don't have a lot of auctions. Yeah, this is a good one. I see a lot of great titles. Her releases from Lever On. Yeah, so starting with Lover, she was on a different label. What happened was with her first label, basically she didn't have the rights to her music, and she's basically re-recording them. So, and I think a lot of fans are liking these versions even better from what I understand. So, I was watching a video, Rick Beato talking about it, who's a music connoisseur, and he's like, she sounds better, they're produced better, and it's overall a pretty good idea for her to re-record all this music. So, I don't know, other artists might start doing that. If you get into a bad deal with a contract and you end up making it big, you just re-record all of your music. So, okay, we have Stephen Stills Manassas EX, $32.99 for Stephen Stills Manassas 2LP. Let's go through this bin, and do we have any more auctions possibly? Anything at all from the putback bins? Or if not, then those aren't really auctional material there. If not, we'll just go through records. I guess I could auction something. Let me go grab some 40. I hate not having auctions. Let me grab some 45s and we'll start them at like you gotta buy them prices, or some of these magazines or something over here. Let's see what we got. I got some nice looking. Yeah, pull out some vintage US. Pull out some great titles that hadn't sold there, Tanner, and we'll start them so low they have to bid on them. Let's start this right here. Take a look at this. I'll go ahead and tell you. We originally had this marked $40. It's beautiful. It's the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. I should have known better picture sleeve. It's beautiful. Has the original 77 price cent rubber stamp on it. The vinyl is probably EX. It's really hard to find these things dead mint, but that's pretty nice for a Beatles 45. $15 start. $15 start for the Beatles, and that's a beautiful picture sleeve. I should have known better, and it's been a hard day's night. What a great song. $15 start on that. How about that? There you have it. Okay, so back to the bin. We have More Hits by the Supremes. EX Condition, $12.99. More Hits by the Supremes. EX, $12.99. Stop in the Name of Love. Cactus, One Way or Another. We don't see a lot of Cactus. This is a VG copy for $9.99. Cactus, One Way or Another. Mar-E Soul. Is that what that says? Mar-E Soul. That's VG plus 26.99. Looks like a compilation. Looks like a compilation. Allman Brothers, John Baldry, Cactus, Dr. John, Jonathan Edwards, ELP. That's Mar-E Soul, VG plus 26.99. Make sure I didn't miss anything before that. We have Colin Butler on Cactus. That's sold to Colin Butler. Jeremiah, you were second. Christopher was third. Bill Walton was fourth. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, EX Condition, $12.99. The Best of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Did I say Emerson, Lake and Palmer? I think I just said Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's another common acronym. EX, $12.99. That's got some great songs on it, though. They're hits. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, So Far. This is another hits comp. EX Condition, $32.99. This is one of my... This is what's got music started for me. I had this on CD, played it for the first time, and I was like, man, what are these harmonies? What is this beautiful music I'm hearing? Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, and it was called Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. James Lee Farrell on Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's sold to James Lee Farrell. Joe Maynard, you were second. Renaissance, Carnegie Hall. Renaissance is EX Condition, $16.99. By the way, Final Call on the Beatles, 45. Gerard has that for $15. Final Call on a very nice copy of Hard Day's Night, and I should have known better. This is If 3, VG Plus, $14.99. VG Plus, If 3, or If cubed. It has it like to the power of 3. That is VG Plus. Elton John's Greatest Hits, VG Condition, $14.99. Elton John's Greatest Hits, a classic. VG copy on that, $14.99. Elton John's Greatest Hits. Bad Company, Run with the Pack. VG copy on this as well, $14.99. VG copy, $14.99 on Bad Company, Run with the Pack. And Kansas Monolith, VG, $9.99. Kansas Monolith, VG, $9.99. The Beatles, there we go. 16 with Jennifer, 16 with Larry, 16 with Brian. Gerard's back in at 17. The Beatles at 20. James Lee Farrell wants Elton John's Greatest Hits. The Beatles 20. The Beatles 18, 25. Gerard's at 25. That's the first time it happened when I heard In Bloom. I could see that. In Bloom. Then I heard Beatles Past Masters. And then pretty much the third album that really set me over the line is I had a cousin give me a copy of Led Zeppelin 2 on CD. So I heard Crosby, Stills, and Nash. These were all on CDs. And then I eventually got into vinyl. But yeah, Crosby, Stills, and Nash So Far. The Beatles Past Masters Volume 2, which has like Revolution and We Can Work It Out and Get Back. And then I was given a copy of Led Zeppelin 2, and the rest is history. That's when I heard Robert Plant scream, "You Need Coolin'" for the first time. And I was like, what in the world is this? Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. VG Plus, $9.99. Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. VG Plus, $9.99. Get the Knack. That's a VG Plus, $14.99. Get the Knack. VG Plus, $14.99. That has My Sharona on it. The Essential Gordon Lightfoot compilation. Now, it does not have Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, but it has some great music on it. This is a VG Plus, $19.99. That's called Gord's Gold. Gord's Gold, VG Plus, $19.99. Jim Croce, I Got a Name. Jim Croce is VG Plus, $9.99. I Got a Name, VG Plus, $9.99. Chris Crowley on Gordon Lightfoot. So let's update our auction. The Beatles is at $26 with Jennifer Smeaton. Chris Crowley got Gordon Lightfoot, and I have no other claims in here. Chris Farrar, you were second on Gordon Lightfoot. So the Beatles 45 is at $26 with Jennifer Smeaton. Everybody else is out. And Paul Gill gets Jim Croce. That's sold to Paul Gill, known as Gill Quadruple 07 on YouTube. Bachman Turner Overdrive, 4-wheel drive, EX copy, $12.99. And Yes Tormato, EX, $14.99 for Tormato Tomato album. The Psychedelic Lollipop by Blues Magoos, VG Plus, $24.99. That is the first label for this album, VG Plus, $24.99. Psychedelic Lollipop. And Michael Angelo, One Voice Mini. That is EX, $39.99. One Voice Mini, EX, $39.99. Michelangelo. That's it. Looks interesting. Has a promo strip on the front. Sparks in Outer Space. Sparks is EX, $34.99. Sparks in Outer Space, EX, $34.99. What was the details on so far? So far is EX, very clean, $32.99. Yeah, I don't see really much on it except for a couple scuffs. One mainly right there, keeping it EX condition. And yeah, so Deja Vu, Wooden Ships on the Water, Teach Your Children. Guinevere is such a, of course, Helpless. That's a Neil Young song, EX, $32.99. That's sold to Thomas Bowman. Let me make sure there was nothing before that. So first we have Edward Star Wars on Sparks. That's sold to Edward Star Wars. And we got Thomas Bowman saying he will take that. So now we need to do a final call on the Beatles. Jennifer Smeaton has the Beatles 45 for $26. That is a final call. Echo and the Bunnymen, Songs to Learn and Sing. VG Plus, $24.99. Not bad for that. VG Plus, $24.99. Echo and the Bunnymen. Springfield Rifle. Springfield Rifle is a white label promo. VG Plus, $34.99. Springfield Rifle, VG Plus, $34.99. That's an interesting name. Claymore gets Echo and the Bunnymen. Leon Live, Leon Russell, $24.99. EX condition. We also have Gordon Lightfoot, Old Dan's Records. Old Dan's Records. That's EX, $17.99 on that. Joe Maynard, you were second on Echo and the Bunnymen. Speaking of Neil Young, Time Fades Away. VG copy, $14.99. Has the original Warner Brothers or reprise in her sleeve. VG, $14.99. All right, Jennifer does get the Beatles for $26. That is sold to Jennifer Smeaton on the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. Let's keep that rolling. The Beatles, I'll go ahead and tell you, we originally had this price. This is from Fred Goodwin's collection. I know from the orange tags, $49.99. I'll go ahead and tell you, this is a nice picture sleeve of I Wanna Hold Your Hand, and I saw her standing there. Some of the first OG Beatles 40. Oh, that is super duper clean. That is nice. $20 start on this. $20 start on this. I Wanna Hold Your Hand, and I saw her standing there. Super clean picture sleeve. Just has a little bit. That's not even a rip, I guess. Maybe just one little. I think that was a staple. Sometimes I've seen price tags kind of like clipped in there. That's very nice. $20 start on that. So hard to find them in that condition. Those were usually thrown in the trash, and the vinyl looks like it was thrown on the floor. You know how it was playing 45s if you were around that era. You listened to I Saw Her Standing There, then you flipped it over and listened to I Want to Hold Your Hand, and when you got done with it, you pitched it on the floor or threw it in a stack with the rest of them. That's why it's hard to find those in high grade. Roy Gallagher, calling card. Roy Gallagher is EX, $17.99 for Roy Gallagher calling card, EX, $17.99. Or a lot of people would play I Want to Hold Your Hand over, and then they would play it again, and then they would play it again, and then they would play it again, and then they'd have to go buy another copy because they wore that one out. Traffic, you must buy this. EX condition, $27.99. This is Traffic self-titled on that first label there. Feeling All Right. Wow. EX, $27.99. Next is the Beatles, 2025, now 35.30. Michael Nath wants Roy Gallagher. There's Traffic. That's a gatefold as well. There's another Traffic. Shootout at the Fantasy Factory. That's VG Plus, $14.99. Sonny and Cher's Greatest Hits. EX, $16.99. I Got You, Babe. The Beat Goes On. That's very clean for EX. $16.99 on Sonny and Cher. It's Greatest Hits. Dobie Gray. This is the one you're looking for. Drift Away. VG Plus, $19.99. Original label. That has Gimme the Beat Boys and Free My Soul. I Want to Get Lost in Your Rock and Roll. What do you have for me here, Tanner? Kiss Alive. Let's put this. How has this not sold? Kiss Alive is VG Plus condition. This is a 1977 Terre Haute. 1977 Terre Haute. By the way, Pete's at 35 on the Beatles. Going once, going twice. Kiss Alive Gatefold, 77 Terre Haute. It has the original Casablanca inner sleeves. We've graded the vinyl VG+, but that's overall. Some sides are better than others. At worst, it's VG+, probably side 3 here. I'm looking at side 1, and side 1 looks very clean, maybe closer to EX. $20 start. Also a VG or VG+ cover, $20 start on Kiss. Tracy Miller gets Sunny and Cher, and Rich Shockley on Dobie Gray. Those are both sold and sold. Shane's at $30 on Kiss Alive. Nazareth, Hot Tracks, which means their greatest hits. This is VG, $9.99. There's the two big ones, Love Hurts and Hair of the Dog. VG, $9.99. Jazz Contemporary, Kenny Dorman. Back into some jazz. 1960, EX, $17.99. This is a Canadian press. EX, $17.99 on Kenny Dorman. Kenny Dorman. James Lee Farrell on Nazareth. That's sold to James Lee Farrell. John Smetzer, You Were Second. Randy Scarborough was third. Brad's Brain is at $32 on Kiss. And Dusty Springfield in shrink wrap. Dusty is VG Plus, $19.99. Dusty Springfield, VG Plus, $19.99. I think that one's called just Dusty. All right, we can sell the Beatles to Pete Weisgarber for $35. Pete, you got a nice Beatles 45 there. That is sold to Pete for $35. That brings front and center Kiss. Kiss Alive is at $32 with Brad's Brain. Lou Gramm, lead singer from Foreigner. Ready or Not, Lou Gramm is VG Plus, $14.99. Lou Gramm, Ready or Not. Dead or Alive, Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. That's in shrink wrap with hype sticker. VG Plus, $24.99 for Dead or Alive. We don't see that one too often. Rush, All the World's a Stage. VG Plus condition, $54.99. Rush, All the World a Stage. VG Plus, $54.99. Queen, A Kind of Magic. Don't see this one too often. I think I've said that 3 times in a row. Queen, A Kind of Magic. That's a VG copy for $24.99. That's a 1986. 1986 is getting around that era where vinyl wasn't as high as production as it was in the late 60s, early 70s for sure, or any time between post probably 85. So, excuse me while I take a drink of water. I feel like I'm talking very fast. Shane Nunley's at $35 on Kiss. We have Kinks, Power Man, Lola versus Power Man and the Money Garooned. This is an essential from the Kinks. VG condition, $24.99. That is a 76 Terre Haute. This one has Lola on it. This one does have Lola. And it also has, yeah, no, that's on the other album. Lola's for sure on this one. It's overall, though, a great album. That is a VG, $24.99. 36 on Kiss. George Harrison, Gone Tropo. George Harrison is VG Plus, $17.99. We have music from the soundtrack, Barry Lyndon. Music from the soundtrack, Barry Lyndon, VG Plus, $14.99. Jennifer Smeaton is first on the Kinks. Tillman Smoot wants Queen. And Gerard Cacciatore on George Harrison. Those 3 are all sold. Next is I Got Them Old Cosmic Blues Again, Mama. That's Janis Joplin. That's actually printed on the cover. I bet this is a foreign pressing. It is. It's a 1969 UK. VG condition, $19.99. VG condition, $19.99. That's a 69 UK. And Deep Purple, Mark 1 and 2. Never seen that before. Deep Purple, Mark 1 and 2. VG Plus condition, $19.99. All right, Michael Bohannon. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to take traffic. That's sold to Michael Bohannon. Update on the Kiss. Shane Nunley, you're out. Brad's Brain has it for $36. That's going once, going twice. Chris Wood Sr. on Deep Purple. He put DO, but I guarantee he put DP, and it auto-corrected to DO. Next auction is going to be, let me see what I got here. We'll start Van Halen. This is probably the lowest I've started one of these, especially in this condition. It's very nice. Has the original inner sleeve. Very clean vinyl, as in near mint minus on the vinyl. EX+++. Van Halen 2, $15 start. $15 start on Van Halen 2. Kiss is at $36 with Brad's Brain. Shane is out. Kiss is on a final call for $36. $36. All right. Let me read through this crate one more time very quickly. Stephen Stills Manassas, EX, $32.99. More Hits by the Supremes, EX, $12.99. Mar E Soul compilation, VG Plus $26.99. Renaissance Live, Carnegie Hall, EX $16.99. F3, VG Plus $14.99. Jennifer Smeaton's at $15 on Van Halen. Bad Company, Running with the Pack, or Run with the Pack, VG $14.99. Kansas Monolith, VG $9.99. Jackson Brown still available. Running on Empty, VG Plus $9.99. Get the Knack, VG Plus $14.99. Bachman Turner Overdrive, EX $12.99. Yes Tormato is EX $14.99. Psychedelic Lollipop, Blues Magoos, VG Plus $24.99. Michael Angelo, EX $39.99. One Voice Mini. Springfield Rifle, VG Plus $34.99. Leon Live, EX $24.99. Leon Russell. Gordon Lightfoot, EX $17.99. Neil Young is VG $14.99. Traffic is VG Plus $14.99. Jazz Contemporary, Kenny Dorman, EX $17.99. Dusty Springfield Dusty, VG Plus $19.99. Lou Graham, Ready or Not, VG Plus $14.99. Dead or Alive, Mad Dad and Dangerous to Know, VG Plus $24.99. Stacy says she'll take Traffic, Shootout at the Fantasy Factory. That's so does Stacy. Rush is still available, VG Plus $54.99. Music from the soundtrack, Barry Lyndon. That's VG Plus $14.99. A film by Stanley Kubrick, may have heard of him before, and Janis Joplin was a $69 UK, VG $19.99. Kiss is sold to Brad's Brain for $36. That's sold to Brad's Brain. Van Halen is at $16 with Eddie Manning. It is a 79. It's a 1979. I'll show you even what we had it originally stickered for. May want you to bump up the bid a few dollars. 1979. It's a really nice copy. VG Plus, the vinyl though is near mint. That is 79. Brian, I'm sorry, I have already sold Kiss. We have Adam Stein on the Barry Lyndon soundtrack, and Jerry Stone wants the Knack. Sell that to Jerry Stone. All right, let's bring up some new vinyl. Still got a crate and a half of that, and I've still got 6 crates of vintage to go through. Still got 6 crates of vintage to go through. So let me bring up tonight's next bin of new vinyl. I think once again, this is all stuff that we've either A, never had before. This is all stuff we've either A, never had before, or it's some restocks we haven't had in a while. Van Halen's at 17, 20, 20, now 21. I'll grab another auction. Right. Let's see here. Let's do an early rock and roll lot. These are from Fred Goodwin's collection. These are unusually in nice condition. Look at this Buddy Holly on an original orange coral. This is Buddy Holly. Very nice vinyl. Some may say almost unplayed. And then you got another early rocker. His name is Gene Vincent with the Bebop-A-Lula. And another Buddy Holly, Early in the Morning. So Early in the Morning and Now We're One. This is Buddy Holly reminiscing and Wait Till the Sun Shines Nelly. And then the Gene Vincent is Bebop-A-Lula and Woman Love. And those are 50s, probably what, late 50s, early 60s, 45s there. From Fred's collection. $10 start for all 3. $10 start for all 3. $10 start for those 3 there. So Buddy Holly, and Gene Vincent. We'll just call that whatever you want to call it in the comments. Scratch Todd Tempton off that waiting list. He said he already got it this week from us. Okay, thank you. We'll take you off that waiting list. Now, I was going to post this in the group as a pre-sale blowout deal. This is a Chuck Berry box set. The Great 28 Super Deluxe. Just $49.99. And this is 4 colored vinyl LPs and a bonus EP, Berry Christmas, which is a 4-track Chuck Berry Christmas EP. I think that's also on colored vinyl. So 4 LPs on colored vinyl from Chuck Berry, $49.99. And that's like a blowout price for what I was going to post. Kind of like the Soundgarden, which let me go grab that because I think we'll have some takers on the Soundgarden. So 4 LPs, I think when that was originally new, I remember when that, maybe not when it came out, but I've seen it in stock before. And I think it was supposed to be retailed for over $100. So you could, I think, consider this like half off. You consider this like half off on the Chuck Berry. So $49.99. And I can get more. I meant to post it in the group like I did Soundgarden. I posted these in the group this week and did like a pre-sale so I knew how many to get. but this is just $44.99. It's Soundgarden. It's a 4 LP box set live from the Artist Den. I've got more on the way, a lot more, because at this price, it's a no-brainer. 4 LPs for just $44.99. That's sometimes what a single LP Soundgarden costs. It's a live, Chris Cornell, of course, $44.99, and that is on black vinyl. And it sounds really good. It's a really good concert. So if anybody wants one, I've got 2 here on hand, but I promise you I can get more. If anybody wants one for this week's invoice, Soundgarden live from the Artist Den, $44.99. $44.99. So there's already a post on Facebook with a big list. We'll tag all those officially. We'll tag all those officially probably Thursday or Friday. But if you want one, let me know, because I'm going to know how many I need to order, because I've already got more on the way, and I think I'm going to have to order more. So, okay, let me go back up to the top. Van Halen was at 21. Then it was at 25. Gerard Cacciatore was first. He bid $10 on this. So Gerard was first. John Duran, you were second, so you're out. Brent Robley wants the Chuck Berry box set. Give that to Brent Robley. Cameron's at 27 on Van Halen. Michael Nath is at 28 on Van Halen. Put Fred Carnell on a waiting list for Chuck Berry box set. And then Soundgarden, we have Joe Maynard, Scott Snee, and Calvin Ward. Just add them to a list. U2, No Line on the Horizon. Pretty much an on-sale price, $26.99. This is another one of those. U2 records I've got tonight that's pretty much on sale or a blowout price, $26.99. I think this originally is supposed to retail for $44 or $49.99, and this is new and sealed U2 No Line on the Horizon. It actually comes sealed, and it comes down in like this polyline bag, but $26.99, 10th anniversary remaster. 10th anniversary remaster. Okay, so Scott says he's already on the post for Soundgarden. That's okay. When I key it into Excel, it'll let me know if I have any duplicates on there. So, but we got you down. Cameron's at 30, and Michael Naff said 28 was for Chuck Berry. My bad. That came in right at the wrong time. We had a bid for 27, then you said 28. So put him down also on the waiting list for Chuck Berry box set. So Michael Nath on the Chuck Berry. Jerry Stone wants U2. If anybody else wants one, let me know. That's so did Jerry Stone. And the 45's here at 12, and Van Halen's at 30. Okay. A Black Flag we haven't had. This one's called This Week. Black Flag, Annihilate This Week. Annihilate This Week. $33.99. $33.99 on Black Flag, Annihilate This Week. Screeching Weasel. This one's called Baby Fat Act 1. Baby Fat Act 1. This is $29.99. Screeching Weasel. Baby Fat Act 1, $29.99. We have 2 of those. Jason Kenton on Black Flag. Mike Massey was actually first, but he said he already has it, so that one goes to, and actually they both passed. They both have it. They get excited when I say the 2 words, Black Flag. Oh, wait a minute, I already have it. Okay, so that is $33.99. Tawana wants on that Soundgarden list. Screeching Weasel is $29.99. Okay, here's another one. I Can See You, Black Flag, $33.99. I Can See You. Do you have this one? $33.99. Eminem. This is an on-sale price. Just $19.99. How many times have you seen a new Eminem album for? Usually they're $59.99. This is Revival. Eminem, $19.99. Eminem Revival, $19.99. Mike Massey and Jason Kenton said both for real. Okay, you're on the clock. This is $33.99. Black Flag. Mike Massey and Jason Kenton. Eminem sold to Paul Bill and Sean Fairweather. I only had 2 copies. Those are claimed. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Soundgarden is on black vinyl. There is a splatter version, and I can get that, but it's about 2.5 times more money for the splatter vinyl. That's why I'm just ordering black. It's a lot cheaper, and I can get splatter, but it's about 2.5 times more. If you want one, I can look into it, but they're about 2.5 times more. If anybody else wants one of those M&Ms, let me know. I'll get them. I've never had this before on new vinyl. Steve Miller Band, The Joker, $26.99. New sealed gatefold, $26.99 for Steve Miller Band, The Joker. And I didn't know they even repressed these that looked like this. Walt Disney Snow White, $26.99, which once again, I'm saying this a lot, these are like on sale prices. Even though they're like brand new, these are like well below what they normally would be. This is a gatefold, Walt Disney Snow White. This is an exact reissue of like the replica from a 50-year anniversary. It's die cut. This is a book, storybook and record for $26.99. Jerry Stone wants Steve Miller Band, The Joker. And I actually messed up. I didn't have 2 copies of The Joker. I only had 1, which goes to Jerry Stone. I overlooked something. U2, another one, blue vinyl, $26.99 for Songs of Experience. Songs of Experience, $26.99 on U2. Martin Pryor, put him on Eminem Revival waiting list. Tracy Miller gets Snow White. We'll put Sherry Darnell on The Joker waiting list. And let's update our auctions. Van Halen is now a final call. Nice copy. Cameron Martin has that for $30, final call. The 50s 45, the Gene Vincent, Buddy Holly, and Buddy Holly, those are at 16 with Gerard Cacciatore. Larry Smith is out, so final call for those from 16, 416. Eric Church, Desperate Man, $29.99. Eric Church, Desperate Man, $29.99. That's a gatefold, $29.99. Darren Davis wants Songs of Experience, also a great price on that. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Some of these are like, you can claim this one, or we can put you on a waiting list. Riot is $44.99. This one's called Inishmore. Is that an Inishmore? Riot. It says 40 years of Riot, first time on vinyl, includes 4 bonus tracks. Riot is $44.99. Here's a King's X record. I didn't know it was in print, and I've never had it before. King's X self-titled, $39.99. King's X self-titled, $39.99. I've got 3 of those because I'd never seen it before. King's X, $39.99. Darren Wortman on Riot and Stacy Brown on an Eric Church. I've got 1 Eric Church left. And let's go ahead and end some auctions. Cameron Martin gets Van Halen for $30 and Gerard Cacciatore gets the 50s lot. Those 345s for $16. King's X, $39.99. Y&T, gray and black marbled vinyl. Y&T Live is $44.99. Slash's Snake Print, that's hard to say. Slash's Snake Pit is not in print. Boy, that's a tongue twister. No, it's not. No, it's not. I wish it was. Darren Wortman on Y&T. This is called Yesterday and Today Live, gray and black marbled vinyl. I have 1 more of those. Put Jerry Stone down on the Songs of Experience wait list. Music on vinyl. It's a heavily desired Elvis album. We have people all the time asking for this. The only copy I have available right now is a sealed copy, an original sealed copy for $250. This is a music on vinyl pressing for $44.99 from Elvis in Memphis. The start of his comeback special there, $44.99. $44.99. That's from Elvis in Memphis. In the Ghetto, $44.99. A Day at Disneyland, something else I've never had, with Walt Disney and Jiminy Cricket. A Day at Disneyland, $24.99. I thought the King's Album was out of print. Well, like I said, I've got some stuff in this shipment and that I'm also more on the way that I didn't think I could get, but I have found them, like King's X and like Riot and some of these other Black Flag. With a lot of other places, I cannot get these. I found we've got some great new vinyl that's probably long out of print. Next is Rob Scheffler on, Bob McKinney on King's X. Riot, Thunder, Steel. I have ordered every Riot album that I can, so I've had 2 tonight. Everything else I've back ordered. I don't think a lot of their stuff is available. XTC Oranges and Lemons. XTC Oranges and Lemons. That is $54.99. That is the 1989 classic album, Newly Cut Masters, $54.99. And 1 more Black Flag. Slip It In. I've already sold a lot of these. Slip It In is $33.99. And I've never had this Beck album. It's $28.99. Modern Guilt. Beck Modern Guilt is $28.99. All right, I'm just going to read through these very quickly, and it's time for a new bin of vintage. I've still got 6 bins of new vintage stuff to go through. Beck is sold to Jennifer Smeaton and Jeremiah Lewis. Black Flag, Annihilate This Week, $33.99. Screeching Weasel is $29.99. Black Flag, I Can See You, $33.99. Eric Church, Desperate Man, $29.99. King's X, $39.99. That's self-titled. Y&T, Yesterday and Today Live, $44.99. From Elvis in Memphis, $44.99. A Day at Disneyland, $24.99. XTC Oranges and Lemons, $54.99. And Black Flag, Slip It In, $33.99. Put Edward Star Wars down on the waiting list for Beck. Songs of Experience. Could we get a price check on Songs of Experience? I think they're $28. I'm pretty sure they're $28.99, Fred Cardinal. Edward on a waiting list for Beck. Rob Scheffler on King's X. Mike Massey wants Screeching Weasel. All right. So we do $7 unlimited shipping. We do this every night. So everything you buy tonight is going to go on one invoice, and that won't be until a week from tonight. So you won't hear from us, you won't see an invoice until a week from tonight. Just FYI. So we combine all of your orders. We combine all of your orders together into one invoice. So we do have a lot of people hop on. Like they buy from us, and then the next night they hop on and they say, hey, I didn't get an invoice from y'all. That's because we probably hadn't sent them out. And boy, there's some great records in here. Oh my gosh. A Flaming Lips OG. What else is in here? I'm looking through the next crate of vintage, and I've definitely got us some new auction stuff. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else is in here. Oh man. There it is. He may have got into some what in the world? Where does all this come from? Well, no, there's I'll show it. Yeah, there's a lot in here to auction. I just pulled out 9 records, I think. But this copy of Neil Young Freedom reminded me, if that came from Wisconsin or one of these new collections, I haven't said this in a long time, but the Dallas collection, like the 50,000 albums we bought in Dallas, I know for sure there was 2 copies of the Neil Young Freedom album, and I don't think it's this one. And I know we hadn't sold one yet, so that just tells me there's a lot of great records probably still buried back there from that Dallas collection that we've never pulled before. So Jared Benoit wants to Slip It In, and Fred Carnell also wants on that wait list for U2 Songs of Experience. So Tanner's got us some vintage stuff pulled. I'm about to show some of that. And we'll pull some of this stuff. Let's show this. Let's show some of these auctions. I'll show you everything I pulled, and then I'm probably going to put it all up for auction. The Story of the Clash. The Story of the Clash. The Neil Young Freedom album. So hard to get that. A nice copy of Highway to Hell. Here it is, the Flaming Lips. OG Bill Withers, Just As I Am. Bon Jovi, a German Robert Ludwig, and AC/DC Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Let's start those 2 first. But yeah, that was some crate. And there's a lot more in here that I left as buy it now. So hope you have your eyes and ears ready for this crate. And we'll start first. So, besides the Tanner, the cart just went off. Or at least the monitor did. Can everybody still hear me? Let's see here. I might need to plug this in. This thing on? Uh-oh. We need to do a battery check. Can somebody still hear me? Tanner walked to the back and everything went black. Give me 1 second to plug this up. I was right in the middle of... I showed a Robert Ludwig press and the video went out. That tells you something. It's a hot mix. Bad time for Tanner to step to the back, too. I think he's working on pulling orders and non-payments. So our power went out in the generator. If you could plug that up. Yeah, you stepped to the back and the power went off. Tanner's going to plug that up, and that should turn our camera on. And give us 1 second. Everything should just key right up, right? Yeah. Give us 1 second. Oh, I didn't turn that on. My bad. Sorry. Tanner's our IT specialist. Seth is our... What specialist are you, Seth? You know what? You're just fired. Seth is officially fired. He made it 2 hours. Okay. Man, we were just getting... Hope no one left because we're about to get into probably the best records of the night. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anything for that. Fred Carnell on YouTube waiting list. Video. Yes, yes, yes. Can hear. Still hear you. Sound. Hear you. Lights on. Okay. So there's only one other country that has Robert Ludwig cuts, and that is Germany. And this is one of them. And I want to stress the RL mark is just on one side. So there is no double-sided RL in the German pressings. It's just this version here. It's a 1972 German pressing. Has the original Atlantic inner sleeve. Super nice, clean vinyl. No condition notes. The cover is your typical European or German cover laminate. It has a little bit of damage down here. It's a nice gatefold. And that's a $65 start. So Led Zeppelin 2 is a 72 German pressing. It does have RL in the dead wax on side 1. Yeah, RL on side 1, 72 German pressing. And this is a $65 start. Nice copy of Led Zeppelin 2. Science by Incubus. We still have Science by Incubus. We still have that. AC/DC, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. I always auction these, especially if they're super nice and clean. This one is super nice and clean. $35 start. Has the original inner sleeve. AC/DC, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. So $65 and $35 start. There's some rock, Led Zeppelin and AC/DC. $65 and $35 starts. All right, let's see what we have in this bin. First, we have Sparks, #1 in heaven. I almost pulled this to auction. I haven't ever had this one, I don't think. If so, it's been a long time. 79 specialty press, $49.99. Sparks, #1 in heaven. $49.99 on Sparks. We have Nazareth. We were just saying in the back, I don't think we've ever had this Nazareth album before. It's called Exercises. White label promo, $24.99 for Nazareth Exercises. $24.99. Jeremiah Lewis is first to Sparks. Edward, you were second. We got bids on both auctions. Brian's at $65 on Led Zeppelin. AC/DC's at $35. Brandon Jackson on Nazareth. That's sold to Brandon Jackson. We have Nazareth, another Nazareth, Expect No Mercy. Third Nazareth album of the night. Very clean. VG Plus cover. Nazareth, Expect No Mercy. $19.99. The Yellow Submarine. A 71 Winchester press. 71. This album originally came out 69. This vinyl is super clean. The vinyl on this is super clean. That is $44.99. So Brandon was first to that Nazareth. It looks like he was second to this Nazareth. Looks like Shane Devers just beat you out on that one. That's sold to Shane Devers. By the way, AC/DC is now at $440. Just kidding. I think John either meant 40 or 44. I think 40. So John has AC/DC at 40 and Led Zeppelin's at 67. Somebody needs to grab Abbey Road. That's a nice copy of that. Vintage copy. George Howard Reflections. 1988 Pickneyville press and shrink wrap with hype sticker. $14.99 on George Howard. Invitation to Love, the Daz Band. The Daz Band is $14.99. The Daz Band, $14.99. 12-inch single for Kid and Play last night. Kid and Play last night, $9.99. Poems, Prayers, and Promises, John Denver. A nice 71 UK press in shrink wrap, $19.99, featuring the smash hit, Take Me Home, Country Roads. It's on there. $19.99, Abbey Road. This is Yellow Submarine. I do have a copy of Abbey Road in the Beatles bin. It's a reissue, but we do have a copy. Did I call it Yellow? Did I call it? Oh, I must have called it Abbey Road. This is obviously Yellow Submarine. Sorry, I do that sometimes. K-Tel. This is $16.99. 2-record set. Starburst. K-Tel. I wonder where Stacy Metternich is in the world right now. This has Andy Gibb, Heatwave, Robert Palmer, Rick James Stone, and the City Band. Or, yeah, I guess that's Rick James and the Stone City Band. Eruption, Eddie Money, and that's still available. Okay, Yellow Submarine was $44.99. Christopher, you definitely need to buy it. Edward Star Wars wants John Denver, and Stacy said she already has that one. Update on our auctions. Brian Miller, if you could let me know if you're in or out on Led Zeppelin. Ryan has that for $67, final call, and we're also on a final call on AC/DC. John Mintzmoyer is at $40 on AC/DC. John has AC/DC for $40, final call. Vicki Allison wants Starburst. The K-Tail compilation is sold to Vicki. Yep, Vicki Allison. That's sold to Vicki Allison. We have Hitline, K-Tail, 24 hits on 2 LPs. Hitline is $16.99. Hitline. This has KC and the Sunshine Band, the Pina Colada Song, Michael Jackson, Sister Sledge, Isaac Hayes. That is $16.99 for Hitline. That's sold to Stacy Metternich. Led Zeppelin's now at $70. Led Zeppelin's now at $70. Let's do a final call on AC/DC for $40. $9.99. This one's called Stars. K-Tail. It has Kiss and KC and the Sunshine Band and Mary McGregor and Hall & Oates. This is called Stars by K-Tail. $9.99. Nice. Who's going to end up with that? $9.99. That is sold to Stacy Metternich on Star. She put Hit and then Star, and then Brian C. put JT. What could JT be for? It's not for George Howard or Daz Band or that one. So I'm not for sure JT was. Ryan's out on Led Zeppelin, so Brian Miller, you have that for $70. That's a final call, and we're also about to sell AC/DC for $40. Star Collection, $14.99. Star Collection, and this has Cyndi Lauper, the Thompson Twins, Queen, Duran Duran, and Culture Club, and others. And I think that's technically sold to Brian C. I'm going to have to start. How many more of these do we have? I'm going to have to start giving keywords. Brian C. put K-Tail right when I was showing this. So I have a feeling this one goes to Brian C. So Brian C. gets that one. Stacy, you were second. Leslie was third. The Led Zeppelin 2 is a 1972 German pressing, and this is the only other pressing outside the United States that has Robert Ludwig in the dead wax. This is a 72 German pressing, one of the greatest rock albums of all time, and that is Led Zeppelin 2. High bid on that is Jason Fornerat at 75. That's going to continue, but John Mintzmoyer is going to get the AC/DC for $40. That's sold to John Mintzmoyer for $40. Okay. By the way, Leslie Holt, you were third on Star Collection. It's track B1 on Zepp misspelled Heartbreakers on label. Let's see here. Heartbreakers. Let's find out. Side 1. Heartbreakers. Yep. Heartbreakers. Not Heartbreaker. That's right. Okay. I'm going to try to figure out the key word for this K-Tail. Disco. Disco is the key word. $9.99. Disco Rocket. By the way, I'm pretty sure these are all from Wayne's collection, by the way. Disco Rocket, sold to Vicki Allison. Disco Rocket, sold to Vicki Allison. That's sold to, okay, this is not a K-Tail record. This is Men at Work. Cargo, $24.99. Men at Work, Cargo, $24.99. Men at Work, Cargo, $24.99. And Pure Rock for this one, to claim this one. Pure Rock. It's a K-Tail comp, $9.99. Foreigner, Rod, Journey, Eddie, Hart, Doobie, Pat, Styx, Jefferson, Boston, Steve Miller, Nugent, ZZ, Foghat. That's also sold to Vicki Allison. She's got back-to-back. Disco went to Vicki. Leslie was second. Bill Toe was third. Jackie was fourth. Paul Beals at 77 on Zeppelin. Brian's out. Vicki was first to Pure Rock. And Led Zeppelin's at 85. So we got officially a bidding war on Led Zeppelin. Let's go to our next auction, which Tanner has put them all in a crate for me. Thank you. Well, now we're loaded with auctions. Let's do the next one here, which was going to be Bon Jovi. This is Bon Jovi's self-titled debut album. Nice jacket, and the vinyl is near mint minus as well. Also has the original inner sleeve. Very clean. Bon Jovi self-titled. $35 start on that. Led Zeppelin's at 85 with Jason Fortnerat and Paul Bills out. So Led Zeppelin 2 is now going once, going twice for $85. Next is Robbie Hitchcock and the Egyptians, Element of Light from 1986. That's $39.99. Robin Hitchcock and the Egyptians, Element of Light, $39.99. Foreigner, Agent Provocateur, $19.99 for Foreigner, Agent Provocateur, $19.99 on Faux Rainer. We have Go-Go's, Beauty and the Beat. This has the hit song, We Got the Beat, $19.99 on the Go-Go's, Beauty and the Beat. Dead or Alive, Brand New Lover. This is $9.99. Carol, Bon Jovi's an auction. So if you want to bid on this, put Bon Jovi or BJ or Jovi or something in the comments and then put $35. Then I'll know you're bidding on it. That's actually an auction. Jason Fortnerat, Final Call, Led Zeppelin for $85. Kevin Kubina on the Go-Go's. That's sold to Kevin Kubina. The Eagles, $34.99. This is the self-titled debut album from the Eagles, $34.99. Dead or Alive is a full 12-inch single. Excuse me. That's why I hesitated on that. Yeah, that's a 12-inch single. Brand New Lover, Brand New Lover, Brand New Lover, and In Too Deep. Carol Keys is at 35 on Bon Jovi, going once, going twice. Craig Johnson wants the Eagles. That's sold to Craig Johnson. Molly Hatchet, No Guts, No Glory, $19.99 for Molly Hatchet, $19.99. And Bob Seger, Against the Wind. Bob Seger is $19.99 for Against the Wind. Very clean copy of Seger. Yes, Big Generator. Somebody was asking about that last week. There it is, $19.99 for Yes, Big Generator. And The Who Are You? $19.99 for The Who Are You? Eurythmics, Revenge, $19.99 on the Eurythmics. And Little Feat, Down on the Farm. Little Feat is $19.99. Crafty wants Molly Hatchet, so No Guts, No Glory is sold to Crafty. And Craig Johnson on The Who Are You? The Who Are You? Let's go ahead and sell the Led Zeppelin. The 72 German, Robert Ludwig, that's sold for $85. That's sold for $85 to Jason Fortnerat. That is sold. Final Call on Bon Jovi. Carol Keys has that for $35. The Bon Jovi self-titled, that's a Final Call, $35. We started the night with 8 crates of new vintage. We're on crate number 3. You can do the math on that. We got a lot to go through. First is the Flamin' Lip, or next is the Flamin' Lips. Here it is. I'm about to say, I don't think I get too many records I can say this is OG Flamin' Lips. Here's a prime example. 1986, the Flamin' Lips, here it is. And I know this is out of print because I've never, when ordering Flamin' Lips records, I have never seen that available. It has a hype sticker on it with the track listing. I do see a little bit of a crackle here on the spine. It does have a clip corner. The Flamin' Lips, here it is, $45 start. $45 start on that. $45 start on that. Final Call on Bon Jovi. Next is Alice Cooper, $29.99. This is From the Inside. Alice Cooper is $29.99. Paul Gill gets Little Feat. That's sold to Paul Gill. And The Fix is $26.99. The Fix is $26.99. Shrink wrap and hype sticker. Jason Fortnerat's at $45 on the Flamin' Lips. Jimi Hendrix Rainbow Bridge, $39.99 for Jimi Hendrix Rainbow Bridge, $39.99. Frigid Pink, $39.99 for Frigid Pink. That's a great album. On the original label, super clean vinyl and cover. This cover is kind of notorious for being heavy on the ring wear, $39.99. And Roxy Music Siren, $24.99. Some great records in here. John Young said, "Hey all, just got here. Sorry I'm late." John was in the store today. I've met John, he's in town all the way from Maryland, and then there was 3 or 4 other regulars, a couple that I've never got to meet before, was all in the store today. And this is sold, Bon Jovi is sold to Carol Keys for $35. Carol, you were the one and only bidder. You do get Bon Jovi for $35. You do get Bon Jovi for $35. Now, John brought us a gift from Maryland that is definitely worth noting and showing. I posted it earlier. We even had to have a picture made. Pablo Cruz, Worlds Away. This is a gift from John Young. We're going to have it framed and put on display here at the store. This is a moment of silence. Not only is it autographed, or I should say, not only is it Pablo Cruz, Not only is it Pablo Cruz, but it has the original inner sleeve. It has the original inner sleeve. It's an OG press, and it's autographed. It's autographed. Autographed Pablo Cruz. Not only that, he went ahead and had it authenticated. It is JSA authenticated. It's got the hologram and everything on it. This is, I don't know of a better Pablo Cruz album. That will be framed and on permanent display here at Collectco with my other wall of gifts. I got to go next Thursday and pick up some stuff. I've had a lot of stuff gifted to me that I have framed, and it even comes with an autographed John Young letter. That will go in the frame with it. I'll probably have her put that nicely matted somehow also in there. So thanks to him, I've sold a lot of Pablo Cruz records. So I was going to read the letter. He says he went ahead and gave permission right there. So John Young said, Chad, I feel responsible for starting the entire Pablo Cruz fiasco. So I hope the small token makes up for the numerous times I've held up the show by asking you to read matrix numbers, pull out inner sleeves. I also feel guilty for making fun of Seth, only a little, but seriously, your show has contributed to filling my basement with amazing records, helped introduce me to a bunch of other great collectors, and brought me one step closer to divorce. Thanks also to Tanner, Seth, Paul, John, and anyone else I inadvertently forgotten from Collectco, your friend, John Young. P.S. I've told my wife to call you about my record collection if anything unexpected happens to me. Don't get any ideas. Don't get any ideas. So if John Young, if there's a missing person case in the Maryland, D.C. area, and he gets missing, and all of a sudden you see his records here, then I'll probably be under investigation. So I will say John brought a case of records from his personal collection, and me, along with the entire staff here, was floored. I'd never seen so many rare and expensive records in one batch in a long time. So it was incredible. I don't even know where to start. I held for the first time in my hand an autographed Paul McCartney Sgt. Pepper's album and an autographed George Harrison Sgt. Pepper's album. So pretty incredible stuff. I've seen promo copies that I didn't even know that existed. Very cool stuff. Okay, Flamin' Lips. This is at $45 with Jason Fornerat. Flamin' Lips is at $45 with Jason Fornerat. That is going once, going twice. Okay, let's go back to the crate. So that's going once, going twice. We have REM, Life's Rich Pageant, $49.99. REM, Life's Rich Pageant. That has the original inner sleeve with it. 1986 Allied metal pressing, $49.99. We have Sparks, Angst in My Pants. Sparks is a 1982 Allied press, $69.99. Sparks, Angst in My Pants. That is $69.99, 1982 Allied press. And Casino Royale. Casino Royale is $19.99. Music composed by Burt Baccarat. Michael Harrell wants to see the back of Flamin' Lips. There's the back of Flamin' Lips. Has a big eyeball on it. 1986 Enigma, printed USA. Jason Fornerat has that for $45. Jeremiah Lewis wants Sparks, and Edward Star Wars are second. They've both been buying the Sparks albums. John's letter included a very important key piece of information that is important to me and us here at Collectco, which is the line that says, your show has contributed to filling my basement with amazing records and helped me introduce a bunch of other great collectors. And I hope that's true of everybody. Not only are we hopefully filling your collection gaps, but also there's a lot of people that have made friends with us and on our shows here every night and other customers. So I'm glad we have able to create that network of buyers and collectors here. Second of all, If you need to know something about a Beatles record, you can ask John Young. We got about 5 hours of information. My brain was overloaded. I've never learned so much in one day about records than ever before. I mean, this guy knows Beatles records. It's unbelievable. Kansas Audio Visions, 1999. Kansas Audio Visions is 1999. Rick Wakeman is 1999. This is The Myths and Legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, 1999 for Rick Wakeman. And Molly Hatchet, self-titled. Molly Hatchet is their debut album on a white label promo, $26.99. Molly Hatchet, that's their debut album on a white label promo, $26.99. John Fogerty's Center Field is $19.99. Foreigner Head Games is $19.99. Foreigner Head Games, $19.99. That has the original inner sleeve. And Blackfoot Strikes, $19.99. Frank Sinatra Sings for Only the Lonely, $14.99 for Frank Sinatra. We have Todd Tipton first on the Molly Hatchet. Calvin Ward was second. Jennifer, what prices do you need? I may have missed something there. Let me know on that. And let's go ahead and sell Flaming Lifts to Jason Fornerat for $45. I'll get some new auctions started in just a second. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, $19.99 for Bruce Springsteen. This has the original inner sleeve with it, $19.99. Culture Club, if you missed out on one of the Japanese pressings last night, this is an OG US original inner sleeve, $24.99. Price on King Arthur. That was a super duper nice copy, Tillman. $19.99. King Arthur, Rick Wakeman, gatefold. It also has the book with it, $19.99. And let me show you that book. It should have a book. Yeah. Also has the book here with it, $19.99. I'm going to put that in the gatefold like that. Okay, Culture Club. There's Rick Wakeman. Let's go back to see what was next. It looks like the Eurythmics. It is. The Eurythmics is $24.99. Tillman Smoot on Rick Wakeman. That's sold to Tillman Smoot. REO Speedwagon, A Decade of Rock and Roll. A Decade of Rock and Roll is $34.99. 2LP on REO Speedwagon, $34.99. Ted Nugent, Scream Dream, $14.99 on Nugent. We have Rick Wakeman, Rhapsodies. Rick Wakeman is $24.99. Rick Wakeman, $24.99. And Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain on purple vinyl. It's a maxi single, $39.99. Prince and the Revolution. Take a look at that. It's a nice jacket too. Really nice vinyl. Purple Rain, $39.99. Prince and the Revolution. That's pretty cool. 12-inch single. Where's the Party? Eddie Money. Gold stamp promo on the back. Eddie Money is $14.99. Ted Nugent, Weekend Warriors. Weekend Warriors is $14.99. Orange Epic label. Steve Miller Band, The Joker. We had a new copy earlier. There's a vintage copy, $9.99. The Troublemaker, Willie Nelson. The Troublemaker, that's $19.99. John Leal first on Eddie Money. That's sold to John Leal. We have Pink Floyd Metal, $64.99. Pink Floyd Metal, $64.99. That's a super nice vinyl, gatefold. And White Boys, Pump Me Up, 12-inch single from 1988. That's $19.99. Steppenwolf Gold, their greatest hits. Wow, that's unusual. This thing has almost no ring wear on it. $19.99 on Steppenwolf Gold. And James Taylor, One Man Dog, is $14.99. Original Green Warner Brothers, $14.99. Ian is first on Bruce, and I'm assuming that was Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, Ian. All right, I'm just going to read these titles because we have so much more new stuff to go through. I don't want to stay in a bin if we don't need to when there's plenty of more new stuff. So I'm just going to read titles, and if you want any prices, let me know. Some prices I may say, but let me introduce our next auctions. We have AC/DC, Highway to Hell. We just sold a nice copy of Dirty Deeds. Here's a nice copy of Highway to Hell. Super nice vinyl, Atlantic inner sleeve, VG Plus jacket. That's a $35 start. And here's a very tough Neil Young album to find. Me and Doug was just talking about this because they are reissuing it in the upcoming Neil Young official releases box set, but this album will not be reissued by itself. So if you do want a new pressing of this, it will be available in the Neil Young box set, which is $200. It's going to be a 2LP remaster. But this is such a great album. I think if I'm going to rank my Neil Young albums, it's probably going to be Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, Harvest, possibly Freedom is number 2. So probably Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. Tied for second, or second and third, would be Harvest and Freedom, and then After the Gold Rush. So, and then actually that, well, that first album is really good too. So that's probably my top 5. Freedom, After the Gold Rush, Harvest, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, and Self-Titled. So really good album. I haven't had too many copies of this at all. $55 start. $55 start on Freedom. Rockin' in the Free World. $55 start. But there's some great songs on there. That song Crime in the City, Don't Cry, very good songs. $55 start on Neil Young Freedom. Okay, back up to the top. We had Shane Devers on Steve Miller Band. That was probably for The Joker. That's sold to Shane Devers. Metal, let me show you that in 1 second. I'll show you Metal. It's 4 OG. 4. What was 4, Jeffrey DeLong? 4 OG. Fred Carnell gets Steppenwolf Gold. That's sold to Fred Carnell. John Smetzer on Centerfield. That was somewhere still in this bin. There's some great albums in here. When I go back through this crate, pay close attention. John Smetzer on Centerfield, and Paul Gill wants JT for James Taylor. Steppenwolf, Label and Condition. Henry's Choice, that's already sold. Todd Steppenwolf is already sold. And we have Todd Tipton wants Prince. That was the Purple Rain, Purple Vinyl. Whatever happened to the teaser crate you showed before the Saturday night sale. We've already been through 1 crate of that tonight, and there's more back here behind me, I'm pretty sure. Paul has all those priced. I think he has that entire collection priced. Todd Tipton on Prince. Jeffrey DeLong says, 4 OG forever. 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 I'm still trying to figure out what that is. Forever. Forever, forever. Does anybody else know what forever is? I don't know what forever is, or for. So maybe you can be maybe a little bit more specific. I'm sorry, usually I can figure it out. Pink Floyd is on the Harvest label. It's a gatefold. I don't have the year for you, but I will say if it's not a 71, it's got to be close. It's definitely an older copy, and this is $64.99. Not a lot of ring wear on that one, too. Foreigner. Okay, maybe Foreigner. Let me go through that crate, and when I run across a Foreigner, I'll let you know. AC/DC's at 35 of Highway to Hell. AC/DC's at 35 with Craig Johnson. That's Highway to Hell. Neil Young's a $55 start. Okay, we had, if you need any prices, let me know. George Howard, Reflections. Invitation to Love, the Daz Band. Kid and Play, Last Night. That's a 12-inch single. Yellow Submarine, 71 Winchester press, still available, $44.99. Men at Work Cargo. Robin Hitchcock and the Egyptians. Foreigner, Agent Provocateur, that is $19.99. Foreigner is $19.99. Dead or Alive, that was a 12-inch single. Bob Seger, Against the Wind, $19.99. Yes, Big Generator, still available. Eurythmics, Revenge. Alice Cooper, From the Inside. The Fix, Walkabout. Jimi Hendrix, Rainbow Bridge. Frigid Pink. Roxy Music, Sirens. REM is still available. Life's Rich Pageant. Casino Royale. Kansas, Audio Visions. Foreigner, Head Games, $19.99 on Head Games. Blackfoot Strikes, that has their hit song Train Train, $19.99. Final Call on AC/DC, Highway to Hell, that's a $35 bid. Final Call. Jeffrey DeLong wants Head Games. That's sold to Jeffrey DeLong. Frank Sinatra, Only the Lonely. Culture Club, Color by Numbers. Eurythmics, Self-Titled. REO Speedwagon, A Decade of Rock and Roll. Ted Nugent, Scream Dream. Rick Wakeman, Rap Cities. Ted Nugent, Weekend Warriors. The Troublemakers, Willie Nelson, and White Boys, Pump Me Up. Shane is in on AC/DC at 36, and Brad's Brain said he'll take Metal. And that was You Forever. White Boys, Willie Nelson, Ted Nugent, Rick Wakeman, Ted Nugent, REO Speedwagon, Eurythmics, Culture Club, Sinatra, Blackfoot, Kansas, Casino Royale, REM, Roxy Music, Frigid Pink, Jimi Hendrix, The Fix, Alice Cooper, Eurythmics, Big Generator, Bob Seger, that was Dead or Alive. Foreigner, Robin Hitchcock. Joe Zanelli, Robin Hitchcock was $39.99 from 1986. John Young, Willie Nelson, The Troublemaker was $19.99. Willie Nelson, The Troublemaker, $19.99. Craig's back in on AC/DC at 40. Shane Devers, you're out. Foreigner, Men at Work, The Beatles, Kid and Play, The Dazz Band, George Howard. All right. No one has bid on Neil Young Freedom. Final call on that for a $55 start. I bet somebody's waiting on a buy it now, but if you for sure want it, I highly recommend going ahead and bidding. Plus, I like that myself. So, I have like a third of a crate of new vinyl over here. And this is our last crate of new vinyl arrivals. This is our last crate of new vinyl for tonight. Then we've got 5 more crates of vintage to go through. I highly doubt we'll be able to go through everything, but we will try our best. We will try our best. John Young says he'll take the Willie and a 7-inch mystery box. And Craig Johnson wants REO Speedwagon. Okay, so let's pull the Willie and the REO Speedwagon, and that was probably the Decade of Rock and Roll, which is a great 2LP compilation. So there is a lot left in that bin. That's going to make a great, I can't believe this didn't sell crate later tonight when I post it in the group for you to wake up to in the morning. So John Young got Willie Nelson and a 7 and a 45 mystery box. Craig Johnson got REO. Culture Club was near mint minus on the vinyl and a very nice jacket. White Boys was $9.99. AC/DC's at $41. And Jeremiah's at $55 on Freedom. We do have a bid now on Neil Young. $55 on Freedom with Jeremiah. Colin Butler says he'll take the White Boys. Pump me up. All righty. So very quickly, a few more new vinyl titles. We have the newest PJ Harvey. This is called I Inside the Old Year Dying. That was hard to read. $33.99. That's called I Inside the Old Year Dying. That's a new PJ Harvey release. $33.99. I've got 3 of those left. There was a pre-order for that. I forgot. I don't have it down. I pulled them, but I don't have it wrote down yet. Who was that? One was Ryan Anderson, and then he canceled, and then it was somebody else. But Tanner, I've already got that pulled, so... Craig Thomas. So, Craig, I've got you one pulled. I think there was one other person. Okay. Sold on CC. Joseph Felicetti on the Culture Club. Let's pull that for Joseph Felicetti. Let me find that for you, Joseph. There it is. Let me go back over here to the feed. So, Culture Club sold to Joseph. Neil Young, 56. Shane's out on AC/DC. Craig has AC/DC for 45 final call. Neil Young's now at 48. The Yellow Submarine, the vinyl was EX Plus, near mint minus. I mean, I didn't really see a mark on it. And the cover was VG Plus. Here's the only Taylor Swift album we've been missing for a while. This is Folklore, and that is on colored vinyl. Taylor Swift Folklore is $31.99. So we've got that one available, which means I think we have most all of them at this point. Europe came back in stock. The Ultimate Collection. I think some people's been patiently waiting for that restock. We waited forever for the original pre-order shipment for the release. This is the restock. Rebecca Barber, John Duran, Sean Druin, and Michelle Phillips. You were all on a waiting list for those, and we have more. They're $36.99. I've got 3 extra. Rebecca Barber, John Duran, Sean Druin, and Michelle Phillips. $36.99. That's Europe, the Ultimate Collection. Motorhead, Sacrifice, $31.99. Motorhead, Sacrifice. That's one I haven't had yet. I've been trying to... Motorhead has so many albums. That's $31.99. We have Boingo Alive, $74.99. Boingo Alive is $74.99. That's on red, blue, red, and purple vinyl, $74.99. Do you have Boingo? Jerry, that should have been on your invoice. Check your invoice from today. If it's not on there, I've got them right here. But it should be on your invoice. Shane Devers on Motorhead. That's so to Shane Devers and Jennifer Smeaton on Europe. Jerry says not on there. Okay. We'll get you one right now. So Oingo Boingo, Nothing to Fear. So to Jerry Stone. If anybody else wants one, they're $28.99. AC/DC is now sold to Craig Johnson for $45. And let's do a final call on Neil Young. Oh, I don't want to reset my feed. Neil Young Freedom is at 58 with Jeremiah Lewis. 58. That's going once, going twice. Boingo Alive. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. 2LP remaster, $44.99. Jeff McMaster's at $60 on Neil Young Freedom. Neil Young Massey Hall, 1971, $38.99 on Neil Young Massey Hall. Massey Hall, that's tough to say. Bill Withers, let me see what I got over here in the auction pile. Let's do the Bill Withers. Man, this is nice. I love this first album. Fantastic. Bill Withers, Just As I Am. OG on Sussex, $45 start. Ain't No Sunshines on here. Grandma's Hand, Sweet Wynomi, everybody's talking. You got to have that. That's a $45 start. Bill Withers, Just As I Am. Super clean. Jeff's at 60 on that. Jeremiah's out. And we have... Okay, this was a special order, but I figured I'd show it. I didn't order an extra one, but I was going to show it to see if anybody else wants one. This is Isis Oceanic, $44.99. And it's technically an indie exclusive, and I think it has to do with the cover. It says the band's second album back on vinyl, recut for vinyl by Matt Colton and housed in a heavyweight gatefold inner sleeve. And like I said, it's supposed to be an indie exclusive. I'm not for sure what makes it an indie exclusive, but I can get these if anybody else wants one. So this is for Jeremiah Stasich. So this is yours. I was going to show it one time. If anybody wants that, let me know. We can just set that aside because that was on the list. That's our only copy. So that's Jeremiah's. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Those will be $44.99. Another Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. That's $44.99. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, $44.99. Here's the other Oingo Boingo we haven't had in a while, which is called Only a Lad. Oingo Boingo, Only a Lad. Limited edition clear and metallic blue vinyl, $28.99 on that. The start on Bill Withers is $45. Also, a final call on Neil Young Freedom. Neil Young's at $60. Jettit, I got your... Tanner handles all that, but I got your Square messages. Did you see those too, Tanner? Yeah. I've seen those come through, Jettit, on my notifications. We've got your Square messages, so we can communicate through there. James Bragg wants an Isis Oceanic. Bill Withers is at $45. We do have a bid with Jeff H. And Jason Fornerat wants Only a Lad. Next is Great White Stage. This is on red vinyl, 2LP. That's live Great White, $36.99. We've sold out of that 3 times in a row now. There's 2 more copies. I've also got Mother's Milk, so 3 Red Hot Chili Peppers albums in here. All 3 we haven't had in a while, especially this one. Haven't had Mother's Milk in a while. This is from the Capitol Vaults. These are really, if you see this sticker, everything I know with this sticker that has went out of print has been tough to get and really increased in value, and that's this limited edition from the Capitol Vaults. $38.99. Jennifer Smeaton wants Great White Stage. That's sold to Jennifer. George Ellis wants a Mother's Milk. I've got 1 left, and then I can get more. And then Motorhead 1916. Motorhead 1916 is $36.99. So, the waiting list for tonight, we've already showed the Rush 2112s. Chris DiLorenzo. Chris DiLorenzo, you was on a waiting list for Motorhead 1916. Tommy Green, your Cher Funko came in. And I do have more if anybody else wants a Cher Funko. Jeremiah, I just showed that. Your Isis. Europe is back in. Greg Stone's Alanis Morissette and Deborah Devaney's Black Flag. And there was something else I don't think I have them keyed in yet, but it was maybe just one person. So George got a Mother's Milk. Let's give James Bragg a Mother's Milk. And let's put Joe Maynard and Jared Benoit on a waiting list. Got a Motorhead Overkill. I think those will be here... That's from that, yeah, those will be here tomorrow. Okay, Freedom sold less than I originally had it stickered and less than I thought it would bring. And that is sold to Jeff McMaster for $60. And Jeff wants to know, is Bill Withers on Sonic? Bill Withers is on Sussex, which is a subsidiary of Buddha Records. That's on Sussex. Matrix is SXBS 706B-5. It has Bell Sound in the Dead Wax. Paul J. Harvey. Yes, you got a PJ Harvey, Craig. Maybe that's what I didn't key in. Craig Thomas's PJ Harvey. I'll make sure you get one, though. Mother's Milk is $38.99. Mother's Milk is $38.99 if anybody wants one. And the last record in this crate is actually a 10-inch. It's Ozzy and Motorhead doing Hellraiser. It's $16.99. So here's how this works. You get Ozzy doing Hellraiser, and you get Motorhead doing Hellraiser, and then they've done a studio-edited mashup of both of them doing it, and that is $16.99. When this originally came out, we pre-sold a ton. I haven't had it in stock, I think, since then. I saw them back in stock. I didn't have them back ordered. I was like, yeah, I need to get that. I guarantee we'll sell at least one and probably some more. So Hellraiser, Lemmy, Motorhead, Lemmy, and Ozzy, $16.99. Do you have Motorhead Ace of Spades? Now that I should have. Yes, I do have that somewhere around there. If anybody else wants a Hellraiser, I will have more of these this week. I would love to know if you want one now, so I know how many to order. Final call on Bill Withers, $45. That's about to be sold because I got more auctions to get to, and I have more. I've got more new vintage to show right now. So final call on this crate. Motorhead, 1916. Great White Stage, Oingo Boingo. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. An awesome Neil Young live concert, Massey Hall. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. Oingo Boingo Alive. Europe, their Ultimate Collection. Taylor Swift Folklore. And PJ Harvey, her newest album, $33.99. New bid on Bill Withers, $47 with Jeff McMaster. New bid. New bid. I definitely need a drink of water. Lots of killer new vintage right here behind me. Let's bring up another crate. Yep, only got one copy of that. We will take a wait list for everybody else. Okay, let's see what we got in these crates. I see the Cars, Charlie Rich, the Sandpipers, Styx, Seeger, Nelson, Johnny Horton, the Beatles, Conway, Madonna, Julian Lennon. This bin has Charlie Daniels, Rick Derringer, Jimmy Smith. I'm trying to find some more of that jazz stuff. Because I think there's some people on standby. I warmed everybody up with a killer jazz crate, and ever since then, the jazz has dried up. Maybe there's more in this bin. Well, this is a crate Paul priced, it looks like. Let's go through this one. Looks like a wide variety. I think y'all know what we get when we show Paul records. You just never know. John sometimes can pull out some wild stuff too, but since Paul's been working here, he can pull out some stuff I didn't even know existed. All right, so Darren Wortman was on that Hellraiser waiting list, and so is Jeff H. High bid on Bill Withers now is $50. High bid on Bill Withers is $50, and that's with, hold on one second, I'll tell you. All right, our next auction, I've never seen this before. The Story of the Clash. Looks like a greatest hits. It is. It's a 2LP gatefold, 2LP gatefold, $50 start. But that's a lot of information. Look at all those words. That's an entire biography on the Clash. 2LP mint minus vinyl. That I figured this would be really nice. It is. It says Master Disc Direct Metal Mastering. $50 start. I've never had that, nor have I ever seen it. The Story of the Clash, Volume 1. $50 start on that. Bill Withers is at $50. And let's go through this bin. I don't know what's in here, but I think you're going to like it just based on what I caught a glimpse of. We're going to start out with Mumford & Sons. $16.99. Mumford & Sons. This was originally a 2019 Record Store Day release. Delta Acoustic Sessions live from Electric Lady. Mumford & Sons. $16.99. We have Bob Dylan. $24.99. $24.99. This is Nashville Skyline. What a nice looking copy. Nashville Skyline, Bob Dylan. It's on a reissue label. Just $24.99 though. Jason Fornerat, first on Mumford & Sons. Bob Dylan. Need to get that. Oh no, they're pricing these just to mess with me. It's Llewellyn George, also known as Lau. Here we go. Somebody please buy this record. That way I only have to say it one or two more times. This is Llewellyn George. Thanks. I'll eat it here. Also known as that guy. I will not say his name again. It is a beautiful copy. $19.99. The Little Feet guy. I could call him that. The Little Feet guy. The Flying Burrito Brothers. $17.99. This is a mid-late 70s Terre Haute. Wow. Somebody needs to be all over that. Flying Burrito Brothers, $17.99. Junior Wells, It's My Life, baby. This is a 2015 Record Store Day, $29.99. It's My Life, baby. Junior Wells, $29.99. Eric Clapton, Unplugged, $29.99. 2 LP. Eric Clapton, Unplugged, $29.99. Guns N' Roses, Greatest Hits. Splatter vinyl. Is this sealed? It might be. No, it's in a... Well, I'm not for sure. That's interesting. Paradise City Splatter vinyl. Yep, Paradise City Splatter vinyl, $29.99. So I'm not for sure. I guess it's near... If anything, it's near mint because we don't have any notes on it. Okay, I need to update our auctions. Joe Maynard was at 50 on the Clash. Joe Maynard was at 50 on the Clash. Jeff McMaster was at 52 on Bill Withers. So 50 and 52. Next was, I don't think anybody claimed Lowell. Shane Devers wants Motorhead 1916. That was in the previous bin of new vinyl. This is sold to Shane Devers. MH 1916. Shane, that's yours. Next is Brian C. was first to EC. Brian C. first to EC. That was Eric Clapton Unplugged. Jennifer Smeaton was second on Eric Clapton. Michael Nath was third. Shane Devers first on Guns N' Roses. That was a great price on that. Todd Tipton was second. Joseph Felicetti third. Benton Bragg wants FBB. That was the Flying Burrito Brothers. Nice pickup there, Benton. That's sold to you. Clash is now at 51. Fred Carnell is out on Bill Withers, or excuse me, Fred Carnell is in on the Clash at 51. So Joe Maynard, you're out. Bill Withers, Jeff H is out on Bill Withers. Colin, you were second on Burrito Brothers. Paul Gill says he'll take this guy. So that's sold to Paul Gill. Clash is now at 53. I need a bottle of water. I may have to take my mic off for about 5 seconds, and I feel like my voice is almost gone. I've been up weird hours today. I had, of course, a customer, John. He come all the way from Maryland, and so I had to be here during the day. You know, there's some people's like, Chad, can you please be at the store? I got something to show you or do this. And I'm like, yes, but just if you give me a day's notice, I just need to get my sleep schedule. And I actually slept kind of normal hours last night, but I can tell it's really messed with me. So, but I don't mind it at all. So let me take a drink of water. I think y'all know that I'm really kind of nocturnal. I had not been at the store during store hours in months. I think literally it was before the Masters. So March, April, that Masters was in April, May, June. Yeah, I hadn't been here at the store in months during regular hours. So it's kind of unusual for me. The Clash is at 53, 55, and now 60. So the only thing we have left is Bill Withers, and we're about to wrap that up. Jeff McMaster has that for 52. So it was actually fun being here during the day. I never am. I got to meet a lot of people, including people that work here. I walked to the back, and we had 2 people shipping stuff. Doug and Ed was shipping, and Paul and John was pricing records. I've never really seen them at work. But I know they do their jobs because I show up and it's all done. Halloween is $31.99. Orange and black vinyl. Halloween. Orange and black vinyl. This is the original motion picture soundtrack expanded edition. Orange and black vinyl. $31.99. This is sold to Colin Butler. Halloween. Jason Fornerat was second. Excuse me, I drank that water too fast. Let's go ahead and sell Bill Withers to Jeff McMaster for $52, Tanner. That's sold. So now our attention is just on the Clash. Joe Maynard has that for $60. Condition and price on Bob. Bob Dylan is $24.99. It's a 70s reissue. The vinyl is near mint minus, and the cover, I hardly ever grade covers near mint minus, but this is pretty close. Also, it has the great song, Lay Lady Lay, one of the great Bob Dylan songs, $24.99 on that. Okay, Jimi Hendrix, Paris 1967. This was originally a record store day, $22.99. $22.99 on Jimi Hendrix Experience, Paris 67. Blue and red vinyl. That is originally record store day, $22.99. Benton Bragg on Bob Dylan and Michael Nath on Jimi Hendrix. Those are both sold. Fred Carnell, let me know if you're in or out on The Clash. Jennifer, you were second on Jimi Hendrix. Bush, 16 Stone, $29.99. This is on clear vinyl. It's a 20th anniversary remaster on clear vinyl, $29.99. Sarah Long gets Bush. So far, that only leaves one record in here. Junior Wells, It's My Life, Baby. It's a reissue. I'll show that again in just a second. First, we got a Clash in the bin. Combat Rock, and check this out, $26.99. It's on red vinyl. $26.99 for the Clash Combat Rock. Also includes that original inner sleeve. Fred, this Clash, the story of the Clash at auction, is at $60 with Joe Maynard. $60 with Joe Maynard. And Jennifer Smeaton on the Clash, this Clash here. That's so to Jennifer. Todd Tipton is second, and Joe Maynard was third. Joe Maynard was third on that. If I can get those to stay. Fred's out on this Clash, so final call at $60. Dire Straits Communique, $19.99. This is a Rhino Start Your Ear Off Right from 2021, 180-gram remaster. Dire Straits Communique, $19.99. I used to call that Communique. And someone was like, that's Communique. It's like, if you say so. Nice. Phil Spector's Christmas album, $19.99. Phil Spector's Christmas album, the Crystals, the Ronettes, etc. That's $19.99. Teddy Swims, A Very Teddy Christmas, a record store day exclusive, $17.99. Teddy Swims. I told you Paul would slip in some Christmas records. John doesn't price any Christmas records until it's Christmas time. Paul's been slipping in some good ones here and there. Jeff McMaster got the Phil Spector Christmas album. Teddy Swims is $17.99. King Crimson, $32.99. 2019 Steven Wilson mix. That's the Steven Wilson mix on 200 gram in the Court of the Crimson King, $32.99. Joe Maynard gets the story of the Clash for $60. That's sold to Joe Maynard for $60. Young Shakespeare, Neil Young, $24.99. This is a near mint copy. Source mastered from 192 over 24 digital. This is a great sounding concert. It's sourced digitally, but nice heavyweight 180-gram vinyl. That's called Young Shakespeare, $24.99 on Neil Young. I highly recommend. Link Ray sings and plays guitar. I was about to say, we just had this on pink vinyl. This is the last time it was reissued. It was on clear vinyl. We have it in stock on pink vinyl for $36.99. This is $26.99 from Sundays. That's mono clear vinyl, $26.99. Scott Joachim-Staller first on King Crimson. That's sold to Scott. We have Warhorse. Warhorse is $27.99. 2021 gold vinyl on a Vertigo swirl. And Warhorse is featuring Deep Purple bassist Nick Semper. Limited edition gold vinyl. That is $27.99. The Grassroots, their 16 greatest hits. This is one of my favorite compilations here. This is where I first heard the Grassroots, and it was incredible. This is $19.99. ABC Dunhill original label. That's some good stuff there. The Grassroots is $19.99. Climax Blues Band, Shine On, $14.99 for the Climax Blues Band, Shine On, $14.99. And J.J. Johnson on Blue Note, early 70s press on this, $29.99. $29.99. This is the eminent J.J. Johnson Blue Note, early 70s press, $29.99. Jackie Reynolds on the Grassroots. Tanner, that one was $19.99 to Jackie Reynolds. We have Jeff McMaster on Neil Young, Young Shakespeare. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. Pam Dickens on J.J. Johnson. That's sold to Pam Dickens. Jeremiah Lewis was second. The Ornette Coleman Trio at the Golden Circle, Stockholm, Volume 1. This is a 2014 remaster. 2014, $21.99 on Ornette Coleman. Introducing Kenny Cox and the Contemporary Jazz Quintet, $21.99. That's a 2021 pressing of Kenny Cox. We also have The Legend, The Best of Bob Marley, $21.99. I think some of y'all bought one of these new from us. Really cool tricolor vinyl, $21.99 on the legend, the Bob Marley. Ornette Coleman at the Golden Circle, Stockholm, Volume 2. The other one was Volume 1. Volume 2 is $29.99. It's a 1983 French import. So 1983 French, still on Blue Note, $29.99. Freddie Cornell on the Bob Marley. Todd Tipton was second. Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down, $9.99. And the Ramones, Triple J Live at the Wireless, Capitol Theater, 1980, $27.99. Numbered, limited of 13,000. The Ramones Live, that is $27.99. I think it's time for a couple new auctions. Let me see what I got over here in our crates. If not, I'll continue auctioning some of this other stuff we pulled. Let's see what this is. Okay. See if there's, if not, let me just take a peek at the next bin. Yeah, we'll definitely go through this one next. More jazz and more, looks like out of print rock LPs in here. Good looking stuff. I see some Vinyl Me Please. Yeah, a lot of this looks like it's from Mr. Andy Mitchell's collection we picked up. He drove all the way from Atlanta and dropped them off, too. Of course, I think he was on his way to Kentucky, but still, that helps. He got a little bit more money out of them because he delivered them. That always helps with negotiations. If you're willing to bring records to us, you know, that obviously cuts out a ton of expense for us. So, Jennifer Smeaton is first on the Ramones. That's so to Jennifer. Craig Thomas was second. Leslie was third. Paul Beal was fourth. And Jeff McMaster wants Lionel Richie. And we have Pearl Jam Rearview Mirror. This is the, wow, black and gray vinyl, only $22.99. $22.99 on Pearl Jam Rearview Mirror. And this is the colored vinyl, which I think was a Walmart exclusive, right? There is black, and this other LP should be on gray. Let's take a look at it here. They saved the hop sticker, too. Yep, this is the Walmart exclusive, black and gray vinyl. And that's volume 2, or that's 91 to 2003, Rear View Mirror. I thought they were in different volumes. I thought they actually had another name. I guess not. I guess there's Rear View Mirror. Is there a Rear View Mirror too, or they just break them up by years? I guess they just broke them up by years now that I think about it. I thought it was broken up by the different songs, though. Interesting. That is so to Joseph Felicetti. Jason Fornerat was second. Will Price was third. Shane Devers was fourth. And Todd Tipton was fifth. Okay, sorry I had to mute my mic for a second. We have Pink Floyd, Obscured by Clouds. This is $29.99. This is a Capitol label reissue, early 80s. Wow. So it's on this black rainbow label. So that's an 80s pressing. The vinyl is near mint minus. So if you're looking for a nice vintage copy, this would be what you want. That's so to Jennifer Smeaton. We have Paul Chambers and John Coltrane, High Step. This is a Blue Note reissue series, 1975 mono, $26.99. 1975 mono, $26.99. Carrie Underwood's Greatest Hits, Decade Number 1. This is on silver vinyl. Carrie Underwood's Greatest Hits, $21.99, and this is on silver vinyl. That might also be a Walmart exclusive, $21.99. Mark Cunningham on the Paul Chambers, John Coltrane. Stevie Lee was second on John Coltrane. Carrie Underwood is so to Jason Fornerat. This is so to Jason Fornerat. And Bird at St. Nick's, Charlie Bird, that is $16.99. Or excuse me, Charlie Parker, $16.99. Birds at St. Nick's, $16.99. Tenor Conclave, John Coltrane, Hank Mobley, Zoot Sims, that is $24.99. It's on Roxy, and it's on Doxy. It's numbered, hand numbered 115 of 500. That is $24.99. Excuse me. Hope that wasn't too loud. Craig Thomas first on Charlie Parker, The Bird, and Sean Fairweather first on John Coltrane. Hand numbered on the back to 500. Those are both sold. Next is $21.99, and that's Motor City Scene. $21.99, Motor City Scene. That's Pepper Adams, Donald Byrd, Kenny Burrell, Tommy Flanagan, Hay Lewis, and Paul Chambers on bass. That is $21.99. $21.99. Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Souls on blue vinyl, $29.99. Otis Redding Sings Soul, $29.99 on that. Legion Leaf, Fairport Convention, 1976 Terre Haute Press, $16.99. Paul put somebody or someone better buy this. I agree. John, I walked into the back one day and John had this playing on the test turntable, and it was right in the middle of that song. Let's see here, Matty Groves. It's right in the middle of Matty Groves, and I was like, what is this? I would like to know because I'd like to find out much more about it. He says it's Legion Leaf, Fairport Convention. That's Sandy Denny. I was like, no wonder I like it. This is sold to Jeremiah Lewis. There's so many records. I've walked to the back room and either John or Doug, Paul hadn't been here that long. He's introduced me already to a lot of music, but there's so much stuff. I've walked to the back and Doug will be listening to something. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, it's Tool. First time I heard Tool, I was like, okay, tell me more. The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. This is $44.99. It's a mono reissue. I'm sure Paul will introduce me to a lot of music as well. He already has. Mono, the Pink Floyd, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. That is near mint pristine. That is sold to Craig Johnson. We have Little Feet, Sailing Shoes, $19.99 for Little Feet. And the Paramount Trio, Step It Up and Go. That's a 1993 Australian import, $29.99. Sarah, you were next on Pink Floyd. Okay, I don't have anything out of the crates to auction yet, so let me pull some stuff. We did earlier, I pulled some stuff to auction out of our bins. Let's go ahead and do that. I got a Jimi Hendrix and I got a Boston Don't Look Back. So Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, very clean copy, has the original inner sleeve with his memorial on it, September 18th, 1970, has some pictures of his discography. Super nice vinyl, very nice vinyl. Yes, I mean, it is flawless. That looked incredible. $15 start. This is Smash Hits, Jimi Hendrix. Nice jacket, too. $15 start on Smash Hits. And Boston Don't Look Back is VG Plus on the vinyl. Nice jacket. By the way, it took me a while to realize that that was a guitar on the cover. I know, I'm crazy. But I had handled hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of these. And then I realized that this was a spaceship guitar. And then when you see it, it forever changes you. Because then you start looking at all their covers and you're like, oh, that's a spaceship too. Or, oh, that's a guitar too. This has the original inner sleeve. VG Plus. It's a nice copy for a VG Plus. I'll just put it that way. $15 start on Boston Don't Look Back. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Lots of comments. Let's see. We had Jimi Hendrix at 15 with Shane Devers, also with Scott Jokumstaller, and Chris Farrar also bid 15. Chris is at 20. Otis Redding was $34.99. $29.99. Blue vinyl. Otis Redding Sings Soul, $29.99. Paramount price. Paramount is $29.99. The Paramount Trio, Step It Up and Go, $29.99. This is Michael Bublé, It's Time. Michael Bublé is VG Plus $21.99. I almost said Michael Bubble, but I learned my lesson on that one. Michael Bublé is VG Plus $21.99. Fred Carnell says he will take the Otis. Jimi Hendrix is at $25. We're looking for a $15 start on Boston. Bob Dylan and the Band, Basement Tapes, VG Plus $24.99. VG Plus $24.99 for Bob Dylan and the Band, Basement Tapes, VG Plus vinyl, $24.99. I take a look at Star Trooper Mask Upside Down, Star Wars, something trippy. Interesting. Jade Warrior, 2016 UK 180 gram, EX $21.99. EX $21.99. Jade Warrior, EX $21.99. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits. Here's an EX copy. We got one for auction too. This is EX $31.99. EX on this one, $39.99. If you're bidding on that one, you want to go ahead and snag one, here it is. We also have Bag. This is Milt Jackson, Bag. Milt Jackson is EX 1499. EX 1499. Can I go ahead and call dibs on Pearl Jam? Can't do that. Just have your thumbs ready. Some people go ahead and have Pearl Jam typed out just in case one does pop up randomly and you for sure want it. You can go ahead and have it typed out. But also, that's risky. When something else pops up you want, then you have to backspace and clear all that out, and you might not be able to type fast enough. Jennifer Smeaton on Jimi Hendrix, and Milt Jackson was EX 1499. This Jimi Hendrix, which is a beautiful copy, Shane Devers has that for 25, going once, going twice. Deep Purple Machine Head, VG minus 1199. Deep Purple Machine Head, VG minus 1199. The Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me, EX 1799. And Elvis Golden Records, that's on the original cover, original font, VG 1499. Yeah, I bet that's from 1958. I bet that is 58. VG copy, 1499. By the way, this in mono sounds incredible. And you notice how this is like a baby blue? That's the original cover. That's the original cover. Somebody needs to grab it. I bet that is 58. And Easy Rider soundtrack, VG copy, 1499. EG copy, VG copy, 1499. Easy Rider soundtrack. Wow, that was a great bin. I'm out of breath. Whew. I found out my chiropractor is going to be in Lebanon now, which is great for me. I hadn't been in a while. And I'm calling tomorrow and saying I need a total back adjustment. I haven't had one in, I guess, 4 months now. It's going to sound like you're popping bubble wrap when she probably fixes my back. Okay, so let's wrap up some auctions. I'm going to go through that crate one more time very quickly. I do have more vintage arrivals. I guess technically 3 bins worth, so a lot more to go through. I know it's getting kind of late, so before I lose anybody, since it is top of the hour, tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to do this again. We've got lots of great new vinyl coming. We're going to have plenty of vintage because we might not even get to go through everything tonight because I may stop before we go through any more new after the next crate and do a recap because there is a lot of stuff that didn't sell, and maybe if there was something that was 50 and you want to get 45 for it, we might sell some of that. So we'll do that in just a second. But we'll see how many people's watching. If we still got 180 people watching after the next crate, I'll probably show another bin. So don't go anywhere. More people to stay on. More likely I'm about to continue with new vintage. Jimi Hendrix is on a final call now, $25, and no bids on Boston. So if you want to go ahead and bid, it's $15, or I'll make that a buy now and I'll sell Jimi Hendrix. Here's what's left in here. Junior Wells, It's My Life Baby. Dire Straits, Communique. We have Teddy Swims, A Very Teddy Christmas. Link Ray sings and plays guitar. Warhorse, Climax Blues Band. The Ornette Coleman Trio at the Golden Circle, Stockholm Volume 1. And we also got Volume 1. Volume 1 and Volume 2. Chad, condition price on Warhorse. Warhorse is $27.99. Near mint, gold vinyl. Near mint, gold vinyl. Introducing Kenny Cox and the Contemporary Jazz Quintet. Motor City Scene. Little Feet, Sailing Shoes. Michael Bublé, the Paramount Trio. Bob Dylan and the Band. Jade Warrior. Milt Jackson. Deep Purple. The Doobie Brothers. And Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley. All right, I said it. It's done. Shane Devers gets Jimi Hendrix for $25. If anybody wants Boston, this is a $15 buy it now. Boston, Don't Look Back. It's been so long since anybody else can just hear it in your head. I hear those opening guitar licks every time I say Don't Look Back. I can hear that that amazing, I guess that's also a bass in there with it. Those amazing licks when that song comes on. Boston had that sound. You could just hear the guitar and you know it's Boston. They had that very, I don't know what kind of pedals or amps or whatever they were using to make that sound, but I've never really heard anybody replicate it really. You know it's Boston, so. Did you sell the Alan Toussaint album that was on the flip bin? I do not know. Jesse, that could be in this bin. I think this is the last bin that Paul priced. So if there's any more jazz records, it could be in this bin. So I would just be ready to claim it. I really don't know, though. If Paul is remotely on, he may know where that. I think you're the second or maybe third person that's asked about that. So that's definitely something somebody. We have some people looking for that, but I haven't seen it. I don't think we've shown anything in that neighborhood. So, yep. Let's see here. All right, let me do auction here for Neil Young Decade. Can't believe no one's grabbed this yet. This is a triple LP. I've never really took time to show it. I don't know if I've ever even opened one up where I can show you what it looks like here. But it opens up and it has like a page in the middle. This is called Neil Young Decade. So it's a triple LP, and this is OG. It's got pictures there, photos, lyrics, etc. It's a triple LP. It's a triple LP, and this is an awesome compilation. An awesome compilation of somebody asked the other day for Cinnamon Girl. You know, that's on here, Down by the River. That's tracks off his Buffalo Springfield stuff's on here too. Long story short, it's a great Neil Young compilation. We have no condition notes on the vinyl. It is EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. It's a nice copy. We've cleaned it. It's in a sleeve. $25 start. $25 start. And I think y'all know we've sold these before. And Jared, thank you for the offer, but I have to have 15 for this. We originally had this priced for almost twice that. So the $15 start was a reduced discount. Anything I'm putting up for auction in the vintage bins that we've pulled, I start them much less than what we had them stickered. So I have to have 15 for Boston. That's like 15's like the half off price. So I figured it would go up from there, but it didn't. Let's see what's in this bin. We have Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson. This is $24.99. This is a 2020 reissue. Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson, $24.99 on that. Stephen Stills Manassas, an OG 72 Monarch, $29.99. Stephen Stills Manassas, 2LP, $29.99. I'll Play the Blues for You, Albert King, $26.99, a 1981. 1981, Albert King. There'll be a lot of AK comments come in. We have Green Onions, Booker T and the MGs. This is a 2013 Wax Time reissue. $19.99 for Booker T and the MGs. Green Onions. Alan Toussaint, Southern Nights. Is this what everybody's talking about? If so, we'll auction it because I think there's a few people on standby for this. It is. Okay, let's put it for auction. I found it. This is Alan Toussaint, Southern Nights, and I'll be very fair about it. We'll start it at $1. Alan Toussaint, Southern Nights, $1 start on that. That must be what everybody's looking for. It's on red vinyl. It is. That come in very quickly. Is this the one also that, who else just asked about this? Jesse, is this the one you was asking about? Alan Toussaint's a $1 start, Southern Nights. $1 start on that. I'm looking for a $25 start on Neil Young. And we have Jackie Reynolds. Also, first, only one claim on Albert King. That's sold to Michael Naff. Dave Plunkett he claimed Albert Toussaint, which we're going to auction. Brad Moore, you were second. Jackie Reynolds gets the Green Onions. Albert Toussaint, we're at 15, 20, and now 5. And Tawana's at 25 on Neil Young. So, Jared McLaughlin, let me know if you want the Boston for 15, because if you don't, Michael Naff said he'll take it, and then Hendry was second. And we got bids on Alan Toussaint and Neil Young. Okay, next is $59.99, and this is Miles Davis and John Coltrane. Wow. This is called The Final Tour, Paris, March 21st, 1960. This is Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please, the first official vinyl pressing, 180-gram black vinyl, $59.99, and that's sold to Mark Cunningham. Jeff McMaster was second. So if Jared McLaughlin doesn't want the Boston, that's sold to Michael Nath. Okay, next is $21.99. This is Brother Jack McDuff, Moon Rappin'. Brother Jack McDuff, 2022 reissue, $21.99 on that. So just to clarify, Alan Toussaint is at 23, and I want to let everybody know that we're well below what we had it stickered. And then Tawana has Neil Young for 25. That's going twice, going 3 times. Mark Cunningham's first on Brother Jack McDuff, Moon Rappin'. Dave Plunkett's at 26 on Alan Toussaint. Pat Martino, Consciousness. That's tough for me to say. $19.99. Say that again, Tanner. Consciousness. Conscious? There's a NES at the end of that. Conscious or consciousness? Mark passed on the Coltrane, so give that to Jeff McMaster. Give that to Jeff McMaster. Okay, Pat Marino, $19.99. Too many syllables for me. Soul of the Bible? Yes, Soul of the Bible. Cannonball Adderley presents Soul of the Bible, $39.99. He says, no, the moon. Okay, he wants to put back the Jack McDuff. And Jeff says he passes too. Actually, he was putting back the Jack McDuff. So Mark still gets the Coltrane Davis album, but this is still available. If anybody wants the Brother Jack McDuff Blue Note reissue, that is available, $21.99. Colin Butler wants Martino. That is sold to Colin Butler. And Oscar Peterson plays Duke Ellington. That's $34.99. That's a cool flip back cover. 1955 UK. Wow, 1955, $34.99. $34.99. Oscar Peterson plays Duke Ellington. Alan Toussaint is at 28 and now 30. Nobody else bid on Neil Young, so I'm going to sell that to Tawana, which I consider a great deal. Neil Young Decade, triple LP. That's sold to Tawana for $25. Next this is now up here at 30. Edward Star Wars wants the OP, which is the Oscar Peterson. We have Boys to Men Legacy, the Greatest Hits Collection, $27.99. This is a 2020 Target exclusive on purple vinyl, $27.99. John Leal is at 35 on Alan Toussaint. We have an exploration of Nick Drake, Heaven in a Wild Flower, $24.99, a 1985 Canadian import, $24.99 on that. Shades of Red, Freddie Red Quintet, $17.99. This is a reissue, $17.99. Freddie Red Quintet, Shades of Red. Jeff McMaster wants B2M, Boys to Men. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. Alan Toussaint's at $40. We have Love Bug, Rupert Wilson with Lee Morgan, George Coleman, Grant Green's on here. $19.99. That's a 2021 reissue, Lee Morgan and Grant Green. Paul made notes too, just like I did when I was reading it out loud. $19.99. Grant Green stuff, for some reason, I've noticed is definitely OGs and stuff have seen a demand. Actually, we got more. Yeah, I found another crate of vintage. We still got 3 crates of vintage. We'll definitely have some stuff we won't get to tonight. We'll have for tomorrow. I need to take a drink of energy over here. When I found out we had 8 crates of vintage and 5 crates of new vinyl, I was like, yeah, we got a full-blown show tonight. Year on Freddie. It's 180 gram. I can tell you that. It looks like a fairly recent reissue. I don't have the actual notes of it, though. Tom Waits, The Amazing Bud Powell. That's a 2022 reissue. $17.99 on Tom Waits, The Amazing Bud Powell. Alan Toussaint's at $40 with Jason Fornerat. No one has really said out, but a lot of people have stopped bidding. Jason Fornerat's at $40 on that if anybody wants back in. Miranda Lambert, Palomino. Miranda Lambert is $19.99 for Palomino. Miranda Lambert. Almost Famous. This is the Target exclusive, just $24.99. Not bad since the new LPs are $39.99 on black vinyl. This is purple vinyl, and it's sold to Sean Fairweather. John Leal is back in on Allen for $42. Sean got Almost Famous. Fred was second. Sarah was third. Clay wants Miranda Lambert. And Calvin, you were fourth on Almost Famous. Smack Up, Art Pepper Quintet. 1984 U.S. Press, $32.99. Smack Up, that's $32.99. 1984 U.S. Press. Smack Up. We have Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo, $34.99. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo, with Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Bobby Timmons. That's Art Blakey live in Japan, $34.99. Jason Fornerat's back in on Alan Toussaint at $44. Mark Cunningham on Freddie Red. This is sold to Mark Cunningham. And Alan Toussaint is now at $45. Herbie Hancock Rocket. Herbie Hancock Rocket is $11.99. I think you see on the back, this has a little bit of cover damage. The vinyl has no notes on it, $11.99. Time Outtakes, the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Previously unreleased takes from the original 59 sessions. Cool. That's very cool. One of the most important jazz albums. That's the outtakes from it. $24.99. Albert Toussaint. Jason's out. Jesse's out, but now it's between Dave and John Leal. John Leal's at 45, Dave's at 48, and now John Leal's out. Dave, you might have got you an Alan Toussaint record. Dave Plunkett's at $48, going once, going twice. And Scott Jokumstaller wants the Herbie Hancock. Fred Carnell gets the Dave Brubeck. Jeff McMaster is back in on Alan Toussaint at 50. We have Rhythm, Country, and Blues, $19.99. Rhythm, Country, and Blues, $19.99. Time Out. He liked that title for sure. Time Out, Time Further Out, Time Out in Space. Lots of stuff with the words Time Out. Lonely Soul Delegation Live, $14.99. Looks like it's from Bowling Green, Kentucky, $14.99. Thomas Bowman wants TV and RCB. What was this here? This was Rhythm, Country, Blues. That sold to Thomas Bowman. And what was TV? Was that a miscue, or is that something I didn't see? Also, Alan Toussaint's at 52. Live from the Troubadour, Glenn Campbell. The last recorded show of Glenn Campbell, $19.99. That's pretty cool. $19.99. TV was a typo. Okay, so Thomas Bowman got that one. Miles Davis, Champions. Miles Davis is $29.99. That's a 2021 Record Store Day Yellow Complete Jack Johnson Sessions, $29.99 for Miles Davis Champions. Harold Land, Take Aim, $27.99, obviously on Blue Note Classic. Liberty, $27.99. Harold Land, Take Aim, $27.99. Okay, Dave Plunkett's back in on the Alan Toussaint at 52. We have the Forrest Gump soundtrack from the Wally World exclusive, red and blue vinyl, just $19.99. Now, that's a deal. That might be the deal of the night for 32 tracks on blue and red vinyl. The Forrest Gump soundtrack, $19.99. Paul McCartney, Flamin' Pie, sealed, $44.99. It's like a box set. Somebody needs to be all over this. The OGs of these have got so hard to get, and I don't think this album's in print. It's only $44.99. It's sealed, and it's a new box set. Great price on that as well. John Smetzer, first on Forrest Gump. Dan Benedict, second. Jeff McMaster is at 55 on Alan Toussaint. Kyle Gregory, third on Forrest Gump. Chris was fourth. Nick Barger fifth. Jeff McMaster gets Paul McCartney. That's so to Jeff McMaster. Leslie was second. Dave's out on Alan Toussaint. Jeff McMaster, you may have bought you an Alan Toussaint record. Jeff McMaster's at $55. That's going once, going twice. Next, Gil Evans, Pacific Standard Time, $14.99 on Gil Evans 2LP Blue Note compilation. We have Art Pepper, Living Legend. Wow, that's not how I expect him to look. He's in a cut-off shirt with tattoos. Looks like Seth. $16.99, 2015 reissue, Art Pepper, Living Legend. Sam Rivers, The Quest. Sam Rivers is sealed, $21.99. That's a 2020 reissue of Sam Rivers, The Quest. And I think Paul, when we were looking through this bin, Paul was making great note of this on the Sam Rivers, The Quest. And Sonny Stitt, bopping in Baltimore, live at the Left Bank with Kenny Barron, Sam Jones, and Lewis Hayes. That is $29.99. $29.99. This is $34.99. It's MoFi, Bill Evans with Jim Hall, Undercurrent, $34.99. Dave Plunkett says he's back in on Alan Toussaint. Dave's back in at 58. Colin Butler on Sam Rivers. Joe Marino on Sonny Stitt. And there's a MoFi pressing. Wow. Brent Cobb, Shine On Rainy Day. Brent Cobb is $19.99. Jeff's back out. Dave, you might have bought yourself an Alan Toussaint record. You better cross your fingers because that's the third time I've said that and somebody else has come back in. But you have it for 58, final call. Colin got Sam, Joe got Stitt, Sarah Long on BC. What was this? This is Bill Evans with Jim Hall. So what was BC? That was probably Brent Cobb. That's sold to Sarah Long. And Adam Stein on Jim Hall, which is this one right here, the Bill Evans with Jim Hall. That's sold to Adam Stein. Next is Betty Harris. Soul Jazz Records presents Betty Harris, the Lost Queen of New Orleans Soul. That's on green vinyl. It's a 2 LP, $34.99. $34.99. Ian on Green Onions. Ian on Green Onions. I think somebody's already claimed that. And Joe, everything is sticker price right now. Everything is sticker price. Michael Nath on Betty Harris. Going twice, going 3 times. Alan Toussaint, Southern Nights. Michael Nath says he's thinking. $58. We still may not be done on that. We have Sarah Bareilles. I just probably butchered that, didn't I? Amidst the Chaos live from the Hollywood Bowl. $29.99. I'll take both peppers then. Okay, he already got 1 peppers. There's some more peppers in here, right? This peppers. Or actually, let's see, Joe got a Sunny Stitt. I guess there's 2 peppers still left in here. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, everything's sticker price right now. Usually, for sure, new arrivals, first time I'm showing stuff, they're always sticker price. If we ever do a recap late tonight or later tonight, then stuff's somewhat negotiable. If it's still available, of course. And, of course, if we ever show these again another night, they'll be best offer. But any first-time new arrivals, I've been doing sticker price. Thank you for those purchases. Those are also sold to Joe Marino. Oh, my gosh. We have a new bid on Alan Toussaint. Brent Robley's at $65. That's called Southern Nights. It's on red vinyl. We're still bidding, Tanner. We are still bidding. Do you have any Rush Fly-By-Night? Yes. I know I have new copies, and I think we've sold all the OGs we've had recently. But, yes, I do have brand new. I still got them in the perforated bags, which I think are the perforated bags are the, what is the pressing plan I'm looking for? QRP? Yes, QRP. Seth, you have something to say?
Yeah, he said you're adding syllables.
Seth says I'm adding syllables to perforated. How do you say it? That sounds just like me. Green onions had already been claimed. The green onions have been chopped up and ate. 65 on that. Leslie Holt wants SB Live. That was Sarah. That's sold to Leslie Holt. Dave Plunkett is out on Alan Toussaint. Easy Rider was already claimed. Easy Rider has already been claimed. Okay. There was something. Reuben Wilson. I'm all of a sudden getting very hungry. We have Reuben Wilson was $19.99. That was a 2021 reissue with Lee Morgan and Grant Green. $19.99. $19.99 on that, Mr. Brad Moore. We have Allison Krauss and Union Station Paper Airplane. $41.99 on white vinyl. That will be a seller. Allison Krauss, $41.99. 6 Pieces of Silver, Horace Silver Quintet, $29.99. This is a 1988 mono reissue. 1988 mono reissue, Horace Silver Quintet, 6 pieces of silver. Brad Moore says he'll take it. So, actually, right before that, Thomas Bowman put AK. That was for Allison Krauss. So, Allison Krauss is sold to Thomas Bowman. Brad Moore gets the Reuben Wilson. Mark Cunningham gets Horace Silver. That's sold to Mark Cunningham. Leslie, you were second on Allison Krauss. Let's do a final call. The Sacred Alan Toussaint Southern Nights is on red vinyl. We've had 300 different bidders. I have gave it a final call multiple times. We're at $65 with Brent Robley. That's a final call. Final call. $34.99. This is a 1957 mono. 1957 mono. $34.99. Double play. Andre Previn and Russ Freeman. Wow, 57 mono. And that's almost our nightly nudity. That's almost our nightly nudity. So, sorry. Hope your children's not watching. That was a great crate. That was a great crate. Let's go through a quick recap on those. Quick recap on those. Here's what's left in here. We have Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson, $24.99. $24.99. Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson. Stephen Stills Manassas, $29.99. 1972 Monarch. Soul of the Bible, narrated by Rick Holmes with the Nat Adderley Sextet, $39.99. Brother Jack McDuff, Moon Rappin', $21.99 for Brother Jack McDuff. An Exploration of Nick Drake, Heaven in a Wildflower, $24.99. Time Waits, The Amazing Bud Powell, $17.99. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo, $34.99. Lonely Soul Delegation, live, $14.99. Live from the Troubadour, Glenn Campbell, $19.99. Miles Davis, Champions, that was $29.99. 2021 Record Store Day, yellow vinyl. This is the complete Jack Johnson sessions, and that is on yellow wax / vinyl. Some people say wax, some people call it vinyl, some people call it a record. Harold Land, Take Aim, $27.99. Gil Evans, $14.99. And Double Play is $34.99. I guess that's Andre Previn. I've always said it. 57 mono. Okay, Alan Tassan is sold $65 to Brent Robley. Brent, that is yours for $65. That is yours for $65. Okay, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to revisit the very beginning of the sale because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff a lot of y'all hadn't seen or that you probably need to see again. So let me do a little bit of crate condensing. This is the time of night I usually do this anyway, whether we do show more new arrivals or not. I need to do some crate condensing because most of these don't have many left in them, and we've already been through, let's see here. I guess 4. We've been through 8 crates, and I think everything left will fit into, this is really off balance. There we go. I'm on the edge of a rug here. I think everything will fit into probably 2. We'll see what we do after we condense. While everybody's waiting, if you want to, you can let me know where you're watching from, just out of curiosity, because it'll be about 60 seconds before I can get back over here to the screen. We've also had a lot of great new vinyl tonight as well. If you hadn't catched any of that. If you hadn't caught any of that, I catch my bad grammar after I usually say it. It comes out, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's not right. I didn't use the right past participle. I didn't use the right article adjectives. I didn't use the right Oxford commas. The right, what else? Now, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, and if you don't believe me, I'll post it, but I had to take, I'm not going to call it like an advanced English class, but I took a pretty high level, like you had to break down sentences, like label them. I had to take that for my major, and I made an A in it, where you had to label, what was what, like, and the final was like one huge long sentence, and you pretty much had to label what was what. Like, this is the subject, and this and that. I didn't enjoy it too much. It was a very boring class, but Seth probably would have failed it because he is absolutely horrible at English. Right, Seth? Okay. All right. I think this is what I don't know if this is what we started with or not, but we're going to start here. Okay. Chad, did you get Warhorse for me? I don't remember. And then I saw where Joe Marino wanted something. Let me walk back to my comments now. Okay, I'm looking at my phone. Warhorse and Harold Land. So Chris Wood Sr. wants Warhorse. I can't remember if I pulled that or not. And then Joe Marino wants Harold Land. Okay, so there's Harold Land. Let me try to find that Warhorse album. It's not tagged for Chris Wood Sr. Okay, so Chris Wood Sr. gets Warhorse. That's sold to Chris Wood Sr. Joe Marino on Harold Land. That's sold to Joe Marino. And any Rancantors. Which one are you looking for? Because I may be able to get it. And Home of the Alamo. Okay, dissecting sentences. That's what it's called, Scotty. Yes, it was a whole course on dissecting sentences. Man, it was wild. That professor had been at Tennessee Tech. She also took her for like British literature, and that was something else too. Oh my gosh. We would have class discussions on words to replace it's just like common questions. People would like ask questions and we would just discuss grammar. So I obviously didn't pay too good of attention. Fugazi repeater, $26.99. Fugazi repeater, $26.99. Diagramming sentences. That might be a better word. Yeah, diagramming sentences, $26.99. On a college level, which was odd. I didn't know they even had courses like that. $26.99. So here's some of the first vinyl we showed tonight. Fugazi repeater, and that is on blue vinyl. $26.99. Fugazi repeater. Black Flag. This is called Loose Nut. Black Flag is $31.99. We have lots of new Black Flags. So Fugazi, Black Flag. John Lennon, Walls and Bridges, $24.99. Whatever gets you through the night. More restocks on Taylor Swift. There's Reputation, $49.99. David Gilmour, Live at Pompeii, $119.99. 4LP box. Taylor Swift self-titled, $31.99. We have Sepultura, $36.99. David Gilmour is a 4LP, 180-gram, 2 gatefold jackets and poly-lined inner bags. 24-page book and slipcase. Sounds great. $119.99 on Gilmour. Taylor Swift Sepultura is $36.99. Dwight Yoakam, Swimming Pools, Movie Stars, $29.99 for Dwight Yoakam. A lot of his stuff has come back into stock in the last week or two. And speaking of, once again, a member of Pink Floyd, Syd Barrett, The Madcap Laughs, $36.99. So Syd Barrett, Dwight Yoakam, Sepultura, Taylor Swift, David Gilmour, Taylor Swift, John Lennon, Black Flag, and Fugazi. That is our first crate of new vinyl arrivals. Now, there's a couple things that technically we sold out of. Actually, no, here's the first crate of new vinyl. I was about to say something's missing. I knew I showed more new vinyl than that. Here's the first crate. Yeah, there's a couple things in here I can't believe didn't sell. Leslie Holt wants the Dwight Yoakam. First, I want to remind you, this is like a special order. I'm kind of ordering these. This is a blowout price. Just $44.99 for a 4LP live Soundgarden box set. These are $44.99. I think I've already got an order on on the order of about 40 or 50 maybe. So we've sold a bunch, and I just need to know how many we need to get. So if you think you want one, please let me know tonight, because if we don't order, the shipment that comes in this week will be the only delivery we get of them. Soundgarden's the 4LP box set, $44.99. $44.99. That's like half off. That's like half off. I found a deal on some. So if you want on that list, I made a post. We took names earlier, and I'm taking names again now. Final call. Soundgarden 4LP, $44.99. Leslie, there's your Dwight Yoakam. And then the other thing we're kind of taking names on, is Danger Danger. It's a music on vinyl pressing, black vinyl, $44.99. We've got a big list going for those too. I might even make a post. So Soundgarden, Shane Devers, John Leal, and Kyle Gregory, $44.99. Just say you want on the list. They'll be in this week, barring some unforeseen incident. they'll be here. And it's just like you're buying one now, because where I get these from, we'll probably only be able to get one shipment this week. So if you don't miss out, if you don't get on the list and I don't order enough, you may not get one until the next week. Okay, so Maroon 5. Excuse me, my allergies are starting to kick in. Red Peel Blues Maroon 5 box set. Once again, this is like a discounted price, $34.99 on Maroon 5. And this is stuff I've never had before. Black Flag, the first 4 years. This is a restock. $33.99 on Black Flag, the first 4 years. Kate Bush, Lionheart, $29.99. Ice Age Picture Disc, $26.99. Almost Famous is $39.99. Dream Theater. Dream Theater, that's when Dream and Day unite. I'm really surprised we didn't sell these. I got 2 of them. Dream Theater, $39.99. Sherry Darnell on the Maroon 5. Leslie, I can get more of these if you're okay with a waiting list. These will come in the same time Soundgarden does. So Sherry Darnell, there's your Maroon 5. And Leslie, we'll put you on a waiting list. Dream Theater. Black Flag, everything went black. That is $49.99. I've got 2 of those, and I think I got more in another bin. Alanis Morissette. Jagged Little Pill. Alanis Morissette is $31.99. Jagged Little Pill. That's been out of stock for quite some time. Dr. No soundtrack. Of course, I was a fan. I ordered it. I've got a copy of this sealed just like this. But like I said earlier, very high quality. There's some of these Dr. No soundtracks. There's one we've had before on an alternate cover, and I don't think it's the best quality. This is original Capitol, what it came out on, from the Capitol Vaults. Audiophile quality vinyl, $24.99 on Dr. No. Just FYI. Art Blakey is $29.99. That one's called, I've been trying to figure this one out, Buhaina. This is $29.99. Can I add one more? Something? Elton John, Madman Across the Water, $33.99. King Diamond Abigail, $33.99. And this is something we haven't had in a while, back in stock, and all of our Pink Floyd catalog. Momentary Lapse of Reason, Pink Floyd. Momentary Lapse of Reason is $39.99. That's still available, gatefold single LP. Black Flag, My War, $33.99. Michael Nath wants on the Soundgarden list. So did Kyle Gregory and John Leal. And Jeff H. wants one more. He wants additional on the waiting list for Ozzy and Motorhead Hellraiser. He wants an additional one. You got it. You got it. Okay, if anybody else wants anything in there, let me know. That was Black Flag, Pink Floyd, King Diamond, Elton John, Art Blakey, Alanis Morissette, Black Flag, Dream Theater, Almost Famous, Ice Age, Kate Bush, Black Flag. Okay, let's do a recap of a vintage bin. Let me figure out which one was first. I think it was this one. Yeah, let's go through this. This is a recap of some vintage stuff from earlier tonight. It was Michael Marth. Yes, Marth, not Nath. Michael Marth, not Nath on that. Can you get under $65? No, I think I can get a price on the splatter one. I may order one just in case somebody wants it, but I figured for the price, everybody would be okay with black vinyl. I think the splatter is about 2 or 2.5 times more. And that's just me checking all the prices. It's from the same distributor, which I still think that's a great price, but it's about twice as much, I think, at minimum. So, okay, here's what's left in this bin of vintage. We have Carole King Tapestry, EX condition, $16.99. Carole King Tapestry, EX condition, $16.99. These are new arrivals, and these are sticker price. However, I am going back through them a second time. I don't want to hand out any major discounts. This is some pretty good titles in here that we just priced, but if you do see something you want, I'll be somewhat negotiable. If you're interested and the price is just very close to what you want to pay, don't be afraid to hand out an offer. Dickie Betts and Great Southern, that's a VG copy, $9.99. So Carole King, Dickie Betts. This is Curtis Counts. You get more bounce with Curtis Counts. EX condition, $29.99. Better Days, this features Paul Butterfield. EX condition, $16.99. Cover does have scene splits. Jerry Lee Lewis, Original Golden Hits Volume 1, EX condition, $9.99. Don Bird and Gigi Grice, that's a 1957 mono, VG Plus, $39.99. Nat Adderley live at Memory Lane. Nat Adderley is a 67 mono. VG Plus $14.99. The Hawk Swings, Coleman Hawkins is EX $12.99, and that's a 61 mono, the Hawk Swings. Larry John Wilson, Sojourner, VG Plus $14.99. The Chapel Hill Pickers, Us Two and Him, that's EX $14.99. Booker Irvin, the In-Between, one of the better jazz records that did not sell tonight. EX Condition, $39.99. That is a 1970 reissue. Stephen Stills Manassas, EX on that one, $32.99. More Hits by the Supremes, EX $12.99. More Hits by the Supremes, EX $12.99. The Mar E Soul compilation, that's the first. Oh, I figured out what this is. Never mind. This is the first International Puerto Rico Pop Festival. This is actually a live album. I was saying earlier this is a compilation. This is a live show from Puerto Rico featuring the Allman Brothers, Cactus, John Baldry, Jonathan Edwards, Emerson Lake and Palmer, B.B. King, Jay Giles, Maha Vishnu, John McLaughlin, Herbie Mann, Osibia, and this is VG Plus $26.99. VG Plus $26.99. OC Bisa, Nit Zinger, Herbie Mann, VG Plus $26.99. I think Paul Gill wants to Jerry Lee Lewis. I hadn't seen a comment. Is my comments working? It says I'm connected to both platforms. We got 49 on YouTube and 67 on that. Paul Gill, can you hear me? And if so, do you want the Jerry Lee Lewis? Todd Tipton offered $7 for Dickie Betts. Sell that to Todd Tipton for $7. We have Renaissance live at Carnegie Hall. Renaissance is EX $16.99. EX $16.99. If3 VG Plus $14.99. Bad Company, Run with the Pack. That's also a VG copy. $14.99 for a Run with the Pack. Kansas, Monolith in shrink wrap. VG copy, $9.99. Jackson Brown. Can't believe no one's bought this. Running on Empty. VG Plus, $9.99. Running on Empty. VG Plus, $9.99. John Spencer said 10 on Bad Company. John, that would be $12 if you want that one. $12 on Bad Company. Four-wheel drive is EX, $12.99. Yes, Tormato is EX $14.99. EX $14.99. Psychedelic Lollipop, Blues Magoos. This is VG Plus $24.99. Psychedelic Lollipop, Blues Magoos, VG Plus $24.99. He claiming stuff in text be by mistake. Oh. He's texting you what he's wanting to buy instead of putting it in the chat. I've seen that happen before on here. This is sold to John Smetzer for $12. That's sold to John for $12. Michelangelo, EX $39.99. We've had some people, I don't know how it happens, but we've had comments pop up and says, yes, honey, I will pick up the eggs and milk on the way home. And I'm like, how did that end up all the way on Facebook Live? He does want Jerry Lee Lewis. So we'll sell that to Paul, quadruple 07. That's this right here. Right here. That is sold to Paul Gill. So I guess he does want that. Springfield Rifle, VG Plus $34.99. VG Plus $34.99 white label promo. Or Leon Live, EX $24.99. Paul says he wants it. Paul, you're in the right chat now. Gordon Lightfoot, Old Dan's Records. This is EX $17.99. Neil Young, Time Fades Away. That's a VG copy, $14.99. Jazz Contemporary, Kenny Dorman, EX $17.99. I figured that would sell. Jazz Contemporary, Kenny Dorman, EX $17.99. We have Dusty Springfield, VG Plus $19.99. Lou Graham, Ready or Not, VG Plus $14.99. Dead or Alive, Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know, VG Plus $24.99. Rush, All the World's a Stage, VG Plus condition, $54.99. And I Got Them Old Cosmic Blues Again, Mama. Janis Joplin is a 1969 UK, a VG copy, $19.99. $19.99. Okay, let me go over here and grab a drink of water. Tanner had Chick-fil-A earlier, making me very hungry. 117 viewers. What do we need to do next? Does anybody have any last requests? I feel like it's awfully early to end the show. What's that? Yes, I think you've left that here. Yes. I hate to end the show at like 20 to 11, but I don't want to show any more new arrivals because we don't have... I usually only show new arrivals like when it's usually between... after 10, there's usually not a lot of new stuff. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. So, but best offer, old crate. Y'all are putting pressure on me. I feel supper calling is what I feel. I was just going to do some final requests. Scotty says he'll take Janice. Craig says he'll give 33 for Robin Hitchcock. Yeah, let's go. Let me just flip through that other crate of vintage stuff. That might be good. There might have been somebody waiting to make an offer on something from a previous crate. And we'll make sure that Rancantores. Jason, I will order you those. You want the first and second album, right? What else? Eric Church. I was going to read what we had in our country section. We got Zach Bryan, Morgan Wallen, another Zach Bryan, Joe D. Messina, Charlie Crockett, and Randy Hauser. We got Luke Combs, Chris Stapleton, L. King, Dixie Chicks. We got Eric Church, The Outsiders, Leslie Jordan, Chris Christopherson, lots of Sturgill Simpson, Ned Ledoux. We have a Loretta Lynn's Greatest Hits, and then several Whiskey Myers and Coulter Wall. Also Hank III. We got Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits. Let's make a note, please, Jason, for at first and second Rancantores to order. Let's see. Scotty Hopes wants the Janis Joplin. And let's bring up that other crate of stuff, vintage stuff tonight. I will do a recap. I guess we went through all the new vinyl except the warm-up crate. Or did we? There's another crate of new vinyl. We could go through that too. I probably need to do that because we sold several. We sold more new vinyl in the recap than we did vintage, I believe. I think there was some people, Vicky or Leslie Holt and Sherry buying some new LPs that wasn't claimed. I can go through these very fast. I don't have any Pearl Jam 45s. Actually, let me see what I got over here. I don't know if I have any. And then Craig, let me find that Hitchcock for you. Just don't go anywhere. I think I had 40 on it. Let's see. I got Weezer, Chris Stapleton. No, I used to have a bunch of new Pearl Jam 45s. I still can get those, Will. There's a lot of Pearl Jam 45s that are still in print. Let me run through this crate very quickly. The other Black Flag for tonight was Annihilate This Week, $33.99. Screeching Weasel, $29.99. Also, somebody asked for OG Screeching Weasel. I do not have any of that for sure. That one's $29.99. Black Flag, I Can See You, $33.99. Eric Church, Desperate Man, $29.99. King's X, self-titled, $39.99. Last copy. Y&T, Yesterday and Today Live, $44.99. From Elvis in Memphis is $44.99. But yeah, Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits is a 2LP, $36.99. A Day at Disneyland, $24.99. XTC, Oranges and Lemons, $54.99. Black Flag, Slip It In, $33.99. The new PJ Harvey, $33.99. Taylor Swift Folklore reissue, $31.99, or I should say restock. Europe, The Ultimate Collection, $36.99. Boingo Live, Triple LP Live, $74.99. Red Hot Chili Peppers, $44.99. Massey Hall, Neil Young, $38.99. Red Hot Chili Peppers is $44.99. Oingo Boingo, Only a Lad, $28.99. And then there's the last copy of Great White Stage, red vinyl, 2LP, live. I've got those right behind me. Let me go ahead and set this other crate up here, which, what have I done with it? Let's see, that's new stuff I didn't get to. New stuff, is this it? Okay, yeah, this is it. Let me just read the titles that was left in this last crate of vintage. New ones, looking for some originals. Okay, yeah, those would bet. I'll probably let everybody know if we have those coming for sure. Great White was $36.99. That's a 2LP live, fairly new reissue on red vinyl. I think they've pressed it before on other colors, but that's the newest one on red, $36.99. Let's see, George Howard, Daz Band, that was The Kid and Play, Yellow Submarine, Men at Work, Foreigner, Dead or Alive, Bob Seger, Yes, Big Generator, Eurythmics, Revenge, Alice Cooper from the Inside, The Fix, Jimi Hendrix, Rainbow Bridge, Frigid Pink, Roxy Music, REM, Los Rich Pageant, Casino Royale, Kansas. Tony Murphy offered $24 for Alice Cooper. Sell out to Tony Murphy for $24. Blackfoot strikes. So far, usually Blackfoot's gone. We have an REM, no claims or offers yet. Frigid Pink, a Jimi Hendrix, a Fix, and Shrink Wrap of Hot Sticker. Yes, Big Generator. $19.99 for a near mint copy of Against the Rent. Also, Foreigner, Agent Provocateur, and a Yellow Submarine. That's some of the, like, can't believe those didn't sell. Those would be, I would bet, before the show started, they would have got grabbed. Frank Sinatra, Only the Lonely, is $14.99. Clay Moore said $15 on Blackfoot. I will sell that to you for $18. I'll sell that to you for $18. Prize on Daz Band and is Whip It on it. Daz Band. Whip It. I know Whip It by Devo. Shake It Up, Invitation to Love, Magnetized, Hello Girl, Skate Lovers, Carry On, Do It Again, Sooner or Later, and Beyond the Horizon. That's in Shrink Wrap, $14.99. Are you getting Daz Band confused with Devo? We have Casino Royale is $19.99. Casino Royale is $19.99. Look at that cover. James Bond 007 Casino Royale, $19.99 on that. Claymore said so. That was Blackfoot for $18. Jeff H., I will sell you Seeger for $17. I'll sell you Seeger for $17. Usually we mark those a little bit more. Original inner sleeve and near mint, $17 on Seeger, Jeff H. Frigid Pink is $39.99. Christopher Brusha. Frigid Pink is $39.99. Very clean vinyl. Like I said, almost no ring wear on the cover. And Jason Fornerat, REM is the 1986 Allied Metalwork. That's an OG. Original inner sleeve, $49.99. Original inner sleeve, $49.99. Jeff H. says so. That was Bob Seger for $17. Bob Seger for $17. Okay, so back to the bin. Eurythmics, Ted Nugent. Rick Wakeman, Ted Nugent. Robin Hitchcock. We have an offer for $33, 1986. Let's sell this for $33 to Craig. If you're still good with $33, I'm good with $33. That's sold to Craig Thomas. And Christopher Brescia, same price on this one. It was marked $39. I'll say this for $33 as well. Frigid Pink, $33 on this. That's what I just sold Craig, a $39.99. I'll say that one. That doesn't apply to all $39.99 records, but it does apply for those two right now. Okay, so Ted Nugent, Junior Wells, Dire Straits, Teddy Swims, Link Ray. Christopher said send it. That's also sold for $33. Info on CR is the one with Peter Sellers' price. CR was Casino Royale. So yeah, this is the this has nothing to do with the 2000, I guess, 4 or 6 film with Daniel Craig. This is from 1967. This was actually like a Bond spoof movie. This has nothing to do with the original series of Connery and Moore. This is a spoof film that came out in 67. It has the Casino Royale theme by Herb Albert. Dusty Springfield's on here, and then the score music is by Burt Bacharach. And yes, this is the Peter Sellers. This is the Peter Sellers. Orson Welles, Woody Allen, Ursula Andress. I can't really say her name too well. But yes, that's $19.99. Very clean copy. It was Whip It by Daz Band. Okay, so that is a song by Daz Band. Okay, I'm not too familiar. That's the Gap. I'm thinking about the Gap Band has I Dropped a Bomb on You. That's the Daz Band, though. And then Whip It is, the only song I know called Whip It is by Devo. Kyle, I will sell this to you for $17. That's sold to Kyle Gregory, Casino Royale for $17. Okay, so where did I get to? Before I go into like this next like batch from that was like a different crate. This was what's left over from two songs. We have Ted Nugent, Rick Wakeman, Ted Nugent, Eurythmics, REM, Daz Band, Sinatra, Kansas, Roxy Music, Hendrix, The Fix, Eurythmics, Yes, Dead or Alive, Foreigner, Men at Work, The Beatles, Kid and Play, and George Howard. Yes, Alice Cooper sold. I sold it for $24. The song is called Let It Whip. There we go. Thank you. Still not familiar, but it's called Let It Whip. So here's what's left in this next little pocket. Junior Wells, Dire Straits Communique. Teddy Swims, Link Ray sings and plays guitar. Climax Blues Band, Ornette Coleman Trio, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Introducing Kenny Cox, Motor City Scene, Little Feet Sailing Shoes, Michael Bublé, The Paramount Trio, Bob Dylan and the Band, Jade Warrior, Milt Jackson, Deep Purple Machine Head, the Doobie Brothers, Captain and Me, Elvis Golden Records, Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson. We have Stephen Stills Manassas, Cannonball Adderley, Brother Jack McDuff, Nick Drake, an exploration of Nick Drake, Tom Waits, The Amazing Bud Powell, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Lonely Soul Delegation Live, Live from the Troubadour, Glenn Campbell, Miles Davis Champions, Gil Evans, and then double play Andre Previn. Those are all what's left in there. Jackson, take 10. Jackson. Was that Milt Jackson? I'm assuming. How much for the Art Blakey? Let's see here. Is there just one? Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo, the Lost 1961 recordings. This is $34.99. $34.99. So Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo, the Lost 61 recordings. That is $34.99. Kelly, I will sell this to you for $12. The Milt Jackson. I'll sell that to you for $12, Kelly Bagwell. Price on double play. Double play Joe Marino is a 1957 mono, $34.99. 37 mono, $34.99. Double play Andre Previn and Russ Freeman. Next is, she said yes, that was, I think she was saying yes, but she's also said take it. So Kelly gets Milt Jackson for $12. John wants to see the Nick Drake and the Beatles. An exploration of Nick Drake, Heaven in a Wildflower, is a 1985 Canadian import, $24.99. Nice jacket and very clean. That is a near mint minus LP, $24.99. The Beatles is a 71 Winchester press. It's about a VG or VG Plus cover, and the vinyl was very nice. EX Plus, very clean vinyl on Yellow Submarine. That was a 71 Winchester. $44.99 on that. $44.99 on that. I don't think that's the original inner sleeve. $44.99. Price on McDuff for Dale Sanders. Brother Jack McDuff Moon Rapping was $21.99. I sold this earlier and it was put back, but it is $21.99. It's a 2022 reissue. Did you have a Miles Davis in there? Yes, Sean, the Miles Davis is called Champions. Champions is a 2021 Record Store Day release. It's on yellow vinyl, and it's the complete Jack Johnson sessions, $29.99. Next was Price on Men at Work. That was Cargo, right? Yep, Cargo is $24.99. $24.99, Rich Shockley. Kelly said take it. And let's see here. Details on Miles. And I think that was one I just read. Yeah. Miles Davis. Yeah, that was Champions. The Record Store Day yellow vinyl. Rare Miles from the complete Jack Johnson sessions. And that was $29.99. Let's see what else. Was there another Miles Davis? Yes, there's a Miles Davis tribute to Jack Johnson. That's a 2020 reissue, $24.99. Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson, $24.99. That's 180 gram, 2020 reissue. And let me make sure there's no more. I think that was it with that. Yeah, we had Ornette Coleman. There's a couple more jazz, and then it gets into the classic rock and rock. Okay, so that leaves the stuff that was the stuff that is left. First, Sean McNeil says he'll take the Art Blakey. So that's the next claim. That's sold to Sean McNeil. Dave Plunkett said he'd give $17 for Jack McDuff. I will sell this for $20. I'll sell that for $20, Dave Plunkett. The Elvis, I'm kind of surprised no one's bought this because take a look at the cover. I think this is probably a 1958. It's in the baby blue font, which I think is the original cover for that. VG on the vinyl, $14.99, and that is 1958. Now, I haven't ran the matrix, but it is in mono, and it does have that first cover. It has the right catalog. It has the right look and everything. I think that is $14.99. And Dave Plunkett said, all right, and that was McDuff for $20. And I'll make sure that Dale doesn't want this. I'm assuming Dale was passing. He asked about it, but we'll sell that to Dave Plunkett for $20. Nigel Del Rocket said he'd give $12 for this. Sell this to Nigel Del Rocket for $12, Elvis. And Bert said he would have taken it full price. I've already said yes to 12 to Nigel Del Rocket. Bert was second. Todd Tipton was third, offering 10. Todd, you was in third place in 3 different ways. But that is sold. Anybody else? I'm ready for my supper, which my mom made an entire big bin, box, or dish of casserole, chicken casserole. Todd's the story of my life. You've got a lot of other, you've been first a lot tonight. I think you've already got quite a stack going for this week, which is a good thing. Take advantage of that $7 unlimited shipping. Right, Tanner? Tanner said right. So I can tell y'all we've got a good show tomorrow already planned. You know why? There is 3 crates of killer new arrivals behind me we didn't even touch. 3 crates of killer new arrivals we didn't even touch. That's how we'll start tomorrow, plus everything else. Plus new vinyl that's coming in, plus new Japanese stuff we'll have, plus more new vintage. We'll add on to that. So, Sean, no Tori Amos. I don't have any Tori Amos. You're never there when I show up. Your mom's very cool. Thank you. She's here pretty much. She's pretty much here 6 days a week. I think she's ready for a reliever. So we're open 7 days a week. Ed runs the store on Sundays, and I was supposed to come here Sunday and kind of work with everybody, and I was supposed to meet with Ed, and I had a very odd sleep day. So when I woke up, it was dark. So. Tanner says he's ready to go to bed. We've had a long 72 hours. Over the weekend, we don't really take a lot of time off, and it's especially Sundays and Mondays with invoicing. So it's pretty much nonstop here. Price 17 if you sold that 10. Christopher, I will look for that. Okay, I will look for that. Sweet Loving Rockets. I will find those too, Craig. I'm going to make notes of these while my feed is still up. And I got a lot of new vinyl to order. I'll be ordering new vinyl for about 3 hours tonight. I've got spreadsheets to go through, websites, pre-orders to look through. There's been a lot of new announcements today. Monday, they make a lot of announcements on new releases. So, yeah, lots of great new vinyl coming. Thanks, everybody, as always, for watching. We're going to do this again tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Great new records. We are out buying them. We're out selling. And you see them all here first, right here, right now. And that's it. I'm signing off, turning off my mic. And thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock.